just got myself a nice vodka Red Bull.
It's going to be a long night
How dare you?
not yet, but I will be.
How's my reality hat looking? Am I looking fly?
Okay, we're up and ready. You guys ready?
Are you? My God.
My little wind protector smells like bleach.
Yep.
Did you guys put in bleach?
They did that spray thing with it today.
Oh my God.
I don't have a little wind
Soaking
protector.
wet. Oh, he doesn't have one either.
Oh, yeah, you could get one.
It's 7:02. We're late.
Yep. Oh. Well, don't smell it.
Put it closer to your face. Put it
Glad
closer
I'm
to your mouth.
sucking
Don't breathe so heavy.
bleach.
Coming from,
Check one,
you know,
check two.
the two drinking alcohol.
It's the only
We're
way
not
we get
drinking
through.
bleach.
The only
Not
way.
yet,
Same
anyway.
thing.
Not yet, anyway.
All right, give me the thumbs up when you guys are ready.
We're ready.
Okay, we're ready.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We need to have fun tonight.
We have to.
If we don't,
There's
we're
no
going to
point
slit our
in being
wrists.
here.
Look at that beautiful logo. I need a pedicure.
I don't know how you do it every year, but you top it.
When you see a familiar face, it makes you want to keep playing harder.
First time playing, and it turns into street hack. I'm a little worried about it.
Don't forget to say your name.
Welcome to the 11-day power play downtown at Riverworks. What day are we on?
9.
Day 9. We have 2 more days. And how's the fundraising going? Oh, by the way, I'm Amy Leskowski.
I'm Mike Lesikowski.
How's the fundraising going, Mike?
We are less than $9,000 away from $1.1 million. We have 2 days to do it. I want to get to $1.1 million. Let's go, people.
We need to do this. We need to get there for our awesome beneficiaries who do so much. And we could not do this without our sponsors. And we are presented by Clever Method Modern Marketing. And our Power Player sponsors. And our Overtime sponsors.
And, of course, the wonderful people at Roswell Park, Make-A-Wish Western New York, Camp Good Days, and the Roswell Park Oshai Children's Hospital collaboration receive the funds that we raised during our event.
And tonight we have a lot to cover. We have more captain interviews, we have team highlights, and we're going to talk about our awesome partners, Clever Method, Heather and Bob, and how that relationship started.
And our good buddy Nate.
And yeah, Nate, our assistant, is going to jump on and tell you all about the fun that we've had over the last 8 days.
9 days.
9 days. Yeah, day 9. So earlier today, we had 2 teams playing each other. I met Robert Loveless from the Erie County Sheriff's Corrections Office, and also Dave Kelton, Kelting from the Tonawanda Police. And here they are. Robert Loveless, this is your second year captaining. You came back to be a part of the 11-day. Could you tell me why?
We had so much fun in the past, knowing that we're doing just a little bit that we can to help out some great charities and some great causes. And so it's for us, it's a bunch of guys from work getting together for good camaraderie as well, and knowing that we can go out and have fun and help out. It's a win-win for everybody.
So tell me a little bit about your team. You all work together? Or?
We're all correction officers for Erie County. We work out in Alden. Most of us have been there for a number of years, and we always look forward to doing things we can do together as a group to help out. So this is a no-brainer.
So this wasn't an easy year to fundraise. How did you guys do so well in your fundraising efforts?
We just kept at it. We were fortunate enough for us to all keep working through this, so our paychecks didn't get hurt. But it's kind of hard in this time to ask others to, so we just kept doing what we could to chip away at it and get the donations. So
street hockey. So you weren't too disappointed today. You guys look like you were having fun.
No, we had a lot of fun. Matter of fact, one of the guys on the bench, Angelo, looked over me and says, "God," he goes, "I didn't imagine this was going to be as much fun as it was. I thought we just go get it out of our system, have a good time together." And he says, "I'm glad we did this instead of bailing out, and we had a lot more fun than we ever imagined we were going to." And everybody on the bench concurred. So great time.
So is there anyone that you're playing for in particular, or your teammates are playing for?
So when this all started, we all have had somebody in our lives, but since this started, one of our coworkers just came down with cancer, and so I think he's in the back of all of our minds and on our hearts right now. And so Chuck Priori, this was for you out here today. So
it's a nice way to support him.
Yeah, good guy, great guy. So
who would you give the MVP to today?
Oh, John Zach, the second goalie, all the way. Oh yeah, he kept us in there, and yeah, definitely John.
Anybody that you would give an MVP for fundraising?
I took a quick peek at it before I got here. I think maybe Brian Cross or Chris Chappell were one of the two, or both of them were the 2 higher guys, so probably those guys for sure.
Awesome. Well, we're so happy you joined us today. We appreciate you coming out a second year in a row and being a part of this. You helped us hit that almost 1.1 million this year.
That's great in this time, Yeah. It's awesome.
Thank you so much for being a part of it.
Oh, thanks for doing this and putting it on so we can all have an outlet and help support good causes.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah.
Dave Kelton, first time as a captain.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about your team.
Team, it's made up of all these guys for the most part. First time out here playing in this tournament, anyways. All grew up ice hockey. Some guys are with Tonawanda Police. Some guys are our buddies that we brought in. So.
Okay, so you guys had a great game. That was a close one.
We did, yeah. I mean, it's tied at the half, and fortunately got away from us in the end. But
who would you name as the MVP?
Probably Paul Manucherino. He had a couple goals early on. We were joking around with him that we were gonna call him the MVP. So.
So that's a given.
Yeah.
So this year was difficult, during a pandemic to fundraise.
Right.
How did you guys fundraise as much as you did?
It was all for me. It was all through Facebook. I tell my family. I posted on social media. Really is where I was able to get the most of my donations.
Are you playing for anyone in particular, or is your teammates playing for anyone in particular?
I'm playing for my mom. My mom has leukemia. She was diagnosed about a year ago. So she's been battling for about a year and a half.
A nice way to honor her.
Absolutely. I know, and then there's a couple other guys on the team I know who also have family members or friends who have either been lost to cancer or are battling it now. So
the cause is important to all of you.
Absolutely.
So hockey, how long have you been playing hockey?
I've been playing hockey probably only for only about 12 years. I didn't take it up till I was an adult.
So were you guys okay playing the street hockey?
Oh yeah. It was a lot more fun than we thought it would be. A lot more strenuous too than we thought it would be. So it was a good time.
Great.
Real good time.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. You played in the event before.
Yep.
And this is your first year captaining. Did that go pretty well?
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. The information put out, and everybody I reached out to, everybody was receptive to playing, and it was a good time. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Well, the Erie County Sheriff Correction Officers versus the Tonawanda PD had a great game. It was, I think, a 2-goal game. Very spirited. Thank you for their service. A few days ago, we got to talk with our friend Brendan Whistler, and this next clip is a little clip where we took it to the water and saw and talked to the Whistler clan and their team, and to touch base with them on why they're doing, what they're doing with the power play, and they have a pretty unique perspective, and we got to go out on Lake Erie for it.
It's a beautiful feature.
Let's check it out.
I play because it's what I can do to help to try and beat a horrific disease that it affects every single one of us every day.
We've known a lot of people that have lost to cancer, so it means a lot to be playing for them.
To represent my grandfather who died of pancreatic cancer in 2010. Our family really misses him. He would be there watching me because he used to love to do that.
My brother-in-law, Dennis Zeffel Jr., passed away from leukemia. My nephew, Patrick Waldron, passed away 2014 from Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Everybody knew Pat. He was just a wonderful, wonderful human being. You'll find that runs deep in this team.
Betsy Whistler, another cousin of mine, passed away with brain cancer, so play for them.
For my Aunt Bridget, she's battling brain cancer pretty hard right now, so playing for her.
If you think you're struggling during the game, you just think about what the other people have gone through and realize that it's not that bad. You can get through it.
My wife had cancer, and she was cured at Roswell Park. So, but for Roswell Park, she would be dead, and I wouldn't have him.
Knowing that you're playing for something that's actually good for the community, good for how much money we raise, it just feels good playing.
My dad, he's overcome cancer twice, and my mom's overcome cancer 3 times. I'm just happy to be a part of it. Go out there and skate with my parents.
To just play for such a big thing that's impacted so many people, and to know that you're making a difference it means a lot.
This is what we love. When there's wind, we sail. When there's no wind, we anchor and swim.
There you go. No, it's a beautiful day. Every day in the water is a beautiful day.
We're a pretty tight group. Being out here on the water with our fellow players is the perfect substitute to actually being on the ice.
We play on boats and play hockey together. Our boys play hockey together. We coach together.
So my whole thing was to try to get the young kids more involved, to say, hey, nothing's free. You know, you guys play hockey, but let's give back. Let's try to do something.
You know, when I heard about the 11-day power play, couldn't think of a better, easier way of raising money than playing hockey.
As soon as I saw it was an opportunity for the community, I'm like, that's it, we're in. Got right on the phone, call his coach, which is Rich Feinberg, and he was, I'm in, where do I sign up? And the next guy, I'm in. 2 teams, and we pretty much had the same 2 teams for 3 years.
Our team is unique in that it's, you know, it's mostly all father and son pairs.
I think this year's kind of cool is our boys are getting older, they're maturing. You can see now it means more. You got to have skin in the game when they're starting to get that, I think.
It's definitely something special, especially the older cousins who I've never seen play hockey before.
The dads and the sons, you know, the dads are all winded, the sons are all flying around, you know, seeing if they can get the puck around their dad.
Watching them bust their ass every once in a while is pretty funny.
So by the end of the hour, all like the dads and everyone was tired, but all like the kids were still ready to go.
I would never play against him on just a regular day, so he never really tries against somebody else, but when it comes up to me, you know, he's always shoving me. It's fun to play with him.
I'm old, but I could still go at it.
We're on the ice 3-4 times a week, 9-10 months out of the year. When we go on the ice for the 11-day power play, it's completely different. It's not about the hockey.
There's definitely a feel when we all get together. We know what we're skating for.
I have a long time friend named Keith Waldron who's skating on our team, and he lost his son Patrick.
And I think Patrick was probably the first time that my children, especially Sean, it really hit home.
And I will tell you, it's hard. It's hard to go out there with Keith, knowing that Patrick isn't going to be there.
It was just nice to play with Keith because it meant so much to him.
Hockey was something Patrick and I shared for many, many years. It's a place, when I'm on the ice, I still feel a closeness to him.
Every one of us that knew Pat, who was lucky enough to know Pat, misses him more on that day than any other. Wonderful, wonderful man.
I find myself in times of trouble. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
I mean, I don't know if there's a more enjoyable way to raise money than playing hockey.
I love to play hockey, so it's great that I'm able to raise money to help beat this horrible disease.
Such a worthwhile thing. You know, we've never done anything like this before.
For having, playing with my son is just the highlight for me. But being together with him and raising money together, that's what I love.
It's an emotional thing to do it for a cause with your son and to be doing our part, small as it is, to fuel the fight against cancer.
I feel like when people with cancer or people where their kids or their parents have cancer, I feel like when they watch, seeing what we're doing, it's kind of like hopeful that it's going to get better. People actually do care about them, how many families we can help, how many lives we can save.
It's a good thing. It's for a great cause, and it teaches something to our boys.
You know, this game it's different. It's not just any other game. You know, when you get out there, you know, you're looking in the stands, you're seeing all the people cheering, you see the signs. It's definitely a game where it's not about you. Every stride you're skating for the people that are on my stick, the people that you're thinking of, the people that are in the stands, the people that have passed, the people that have survived. It's an unbelievable feeling out there. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
There will be an answer. Let it be.
Another great feature by Uplifter Video, the Whistler family. It was great to meet them or spend the day with them on the water.
And now we have our good friend, Captain Extraordinaire, Mr. Bill Holden.
Hi, Bill.
How is everybody?
I feel like I've seen you every day.
Nope.
Almost.
Not every day. I wish I was here every day. Not every day, though.
Well, this is your third game?
This will be the third game. Yep.
Well, you play and you help, and you've been a very welcome part of our group for several years now.
Thank you.
You've driven around putting signs up. You've volunteered. You've done it all, and there's a very small group of people that have kind of been with us right from the start and have been very involved with every aspect, and you're one of them.
Thank you.
And we appreciate that.
That means a lot coming from you and Amy. There's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes, and I don't know that a lot of people really understand or know what goes in with such a small group of people to make this thing happen. I mean, look what you guys did with pulling the ripcord on an on-ice event back in early July and spinning it to having something here outside and to keep it going. It's been a great week. It's been a lot of fun. I haven't played ball hockey in 15, 20 years, and this is my third shift, and it's like riding a bike. It's been great.
You like it?
Yeah, it's where I cut my teeth. Hockey was cost prohibitive when I was growing up, so you had to resort to playing in the driveway, playing in a parking lot, playing in the street.
Yeah.
So it's where I learned the game, and then
Where
got
most-
into the ice hockey after college or after high school, into college, do beer leagues, and just go from there.
So, Bill, going back to the first community shift, how did you hear about the 11-day?
Actually heard about it the prior year in the build-up to the original event. I was away on vacation, so I couldn't do as much as I would have hoped to do that first year. Came down to visit and then hoped that this is something I have to be a part of. So you guys opened up the community shift the second year, and was quick to apply, and the rest is history. It took a little work to get some of the guys on board. That first year was 4 hours, and a lot of unknowns, and a lot of hearing what that first year was like with the shifts. But they all bought in pretty quick, and the rest is history.
So this is your second year playing cross-check cancer.
Yes, we played the first year. The second year we played against Hank Hughes, who played yesterday, and you did a great piece about earlier in the week with all the old guys. And the gentleman that was his birthday yesterday, I found out last year.
Yep.
He was a teacher at the high school that I went to, Kenmore East, so it was great to see. He was out there last year. Pete Gallivan did an interview with him after our shift last year, and it's great to see him keep going. But
So
yeah,
great.
this is our second year with Kevin and cross-check cancer.
And you didn't really know them before you played in this, right? So it's kind of cool because you guys have come to be good friends.
The one and only captain skate that I did that first year, I came out of my car, went to the elevators to take up to the rinks, and there was a guy sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? My name's Kevin." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, Bill, nice to meet you. And you here for the captain skate?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, Bill Holden?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm Kevin Boucard. We're the team. We're captains against each other, if you will." And chance meeting at an elevator, and the rest is history. We've become fast friends. Up to that point, obviously, his brother Andy had a lot to do with that, and that first year spending with him and getting to know him and going through everything that him and his family have gone through since. So we've become good friends, and I'm grateful for it, because had it not been for this event, we wouldn't be as close as we are today.
So street hockey, I mean, you mentioned you played twice already. How are the other teammates feeling about coming out tonight to play street hockey?
A little nervous, probably.
Yeah.
The goalie especially. He's worried about nicking up his pads, and I told him last night, I said he's probably going to nick his pads up on a bad sheet of ice than he would.
Oh, yeah.
More here.
Yeah.
Just
Just
how
stand there.
that's just how goalies are. I
Yeah,
said, stand there, the ball, you won't feel it. It'll bounce all over the place, and we'll clean it up for you. But a handful of guys I played with ball hockey-wise since we were in high school. Earlier, but in organized leagues, we played in high school through college, but we grew up playing together.
That's
So
one cool aspect of not being able on the ice is it actually opens it up to a few more people that some people
absolutely.
don't play ice hockey and play ball hockey.
Yeah, one of the guys that jumped on with us late last week, like, yeah, sure, I'll play, because we had openings. We had some guys who have to bow out, so we had space, and absolutely, you want to roll up your sleeves and get out there.
Cool.
Be like dusting off old memories.
Anyone in particular you or any of your teammates play for in particular?
We're all playing for somebody at the end of the day. We all have our own personal reasons for doing this. I've had the outlet at times in the past through this to say who I'm playing for. We do have one person that we're going to put our shift out, or we're dedicating our shift out there. There's probably going to be more that might talk to you guys, but one of my close friends,
Grand lady.
The grand lady, she's leaving again. One of my close friends, he had a cousin that passed away from sarcoma back in early July, Holly Szymanski. So we're dedicating this shift to her and her family. But other than that, obviously we can go on and on and on.
Right.
But
well, your buds just got done warming up. Their ball's about to drop. We won't keep you any longer. We'll look forward to heckling you in a few minutes as soon as you get out there.
I'm looking forward to it,
We're
or at least
doing
listening to it
play-by-play.
later tonight or tomorrow morning.
We'll make you look good on the play-by-play.
Yeah, you did enough of that the other night. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Bill.
All right, thank you.
So every year, the Excelsior Orthopedics comes out and watches after our players and takes really good care of them. And here's today's Excelsior tip of the day.
Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Josette Fisher. I'm the Director of Sports Medicine and Wellness with Excelsior Orthopedics. I am happy to announce that we are yet again the healthcare provider for the 11-day Power Play. This week, our team of experts will be sharing with all of you, either watching online or participating during the event, 11 healthy tips to keep you safe and active.
So tip number 9, we're going to discuss sleep. Now, your body does most of its recovery during your sleep, so it's important to get good sleep, especially if you're going to be engaged in multiple shifts during the Power Play this year. Now, we know we'll be working with athletes of all different age ranges, and it's important to know how much rest is required for each one of those athletes. For our athletes in the age group from 6 to 13, approximately 9 to 11 hours is recommended. For those in the age group from 14 to 17, 8 to 10 hours is recommended. And for everybody else 18 to 25 plus, at least 7 to 9 hours is going to allow you to replenish your body. As you sleep, it's important to have a nice environment to sleep in as well. We recommend having the room a bit cooler, lights completely turned off and shades drawn, and wear comfortable clothing. You don't want to go to sleep in a tuxedo, so make sure what you wear is comfortable. That'll help enhance your sleep quality. One thing we'll encourage you to do again to enhance your sleep, avoid using your cell phone or computer within the hour before bedtime. Some people say they can't sleep or are very light sleepers. If that's the case, white noise might help you. Consider turning on a room fan. Again, that white noise may help get you to sleep a little bit quicker than without.
Thank you everyone for checking our healthy tip of the day. If you do find yourself in need of orthopedic care, you can find us at excelsiorortho.com or give us a call at 716-250-9999. We'd be happy to serve you.
Well, we are back, and we have a wonderful guest, Kevin Boucard.
How you doing?
Hi, Kevin.
How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for joining us.
I'm very happy to be here. Very proud to be part of this event.
Well, we couldn't wait to see you tonight.
Uh-oh.
Tell us a little bit about Crosscheck Cancer.
Crosscheck Cancer is just it's a team that me and my brothers put together. My brother Andy, my brother Mike, and just a bunch of friends, a bunch of family, and just guys that love playing hockey. And that's how it all. I mean, that's how all these teams started. Just love playing hockey, and we're doing a lot of good, raising money. So
ball hockey didn't discourage you guys?
Some of the guys. At first, we're just kind of like, But this is my third shift, and I've been having a riot. It's been a lot of fun.
And
something different.
Not just playing, you're roughing.
And I was here roughing too. Like I said, I love being around here, love doing things, and helping out, doing my part.
I do have to say I'm really sad to not see your family in the stands.
Hi.
Like we miss April, we miss seeing the kids.
Yeah, they're watching, so hello.
Hi, April.
Hi, April. Hi, kids.
So what do you think of our jersey colors?
I absolutely love the jersey colors. I love the whole concept of the different colors this year, the different jerseys, just to switch things up. And I was pleasantly surprised when they started, and I'm like, that's a different jersey. And then they started showing all the different ones, and you're like, man, that's cool.
We tried to keep it a secret.
Yeah, you definitely did.
How we
definitely
do?
surprised. Very good.
One of the things, just before you got out here, we talked to Bill Holden, and we had a cool conversation. You can elaborate on it as well, but you guys didn't know each other a couple years ago.
No.
and he talked about you've played each other a couple times, and Chose actually requested that you guys play against each other again because you guys struck up a friendship, and it all started, I think, in a chance.
In an elevator for one of the first captain's practices
Right.
at Harbor Center.
Right.
We were in the elevator, and we were sitting there talking. I asked him his name, and I just recognized his name from I think we're playing you guys. And then ever since then, we've been good friends. We've been playing a lot of ice hockey together, and our families got together, and I just met through here.
It's not all that uncommon that the community shift is a family affair.
Yeah.
And it's yourself, Michael,
yeah,
and Andrew, of course, was part of it.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. I love playing with my son, and I know that there's other people here that love playing with their relatives. What does that mean? Can you talk about how that, what that means to you?
That means a lot. I mean, just the way I look at it, this whole event is a family thing. I consider just the people you meet, the volunteers, you guys, just everybody. It's just like a whole big family. And just playing with my family, my nephew Brendan plays on a team. We got a team for him this year. It's special because it brings you a lot closer,
Yeah.
And like I said, hockey's that sport that it's like a family Buffalo kind of thing,
Yep.
And that's how we grew up.
So this was a difficult year for fundraising. How did you guys raise so much money this year?
We just busted butt.
Yeah.
I mean, people they know how much it means to us, so they dug deep and helped us out.
Yeah. No. You usually do the Leo's Pizzeria fundraiser, or
yes. Yeah, we couldn't do that this year.
That was fun. We had a blast last year. We
couldn't do that. We were going to do something else, and with everything going on, we couldn't do it.
Social media. I think a lot of our team.
And I'll tell you, the Facebook integration, that was key because I got a lot of donations through that.
Awesome.
So definitely keep that going.
So you play for a lot of people.
Yes.
Anybody that's real special for you?
Yeah, my brother Andy. Sorry.
That's okay. We do this for Andy. We all do this for Andy.
What? Making me stand on the spotlight? We do it for Andy. He's just he's the one that started this whole thing with us. Unfortunately, we lost him last year. And
how about the rest of your team?
A lot of them are friends of his. A lot of them became friends of his, like Bill Holden and his team, and a lot of the guys on our team just became friends with him, and we collectively we were playing for him, and everybody else is playing for somebody else, So
who should we put on the spot? We have a take a break off the bench.
Oh, my brother Mike. Actually.
Oh yeah, we already called that one.
I said to Mike earlier, I think we should pull Mike off.
Yeah.
He's a little quieter.
In April, if you're listening, make sure you text Leslie and tell her to watch.
Well, that'll be good because I had talked to Brendan earlier, so I'll cover the whole family.
Yeah.
One of the funny things, not funny, but one of the things that Brendan and I talked about, and it's true, is this event was somewhat inspired by how Andy helped us in the first event. Because if you recall, we had the original game going on, the world record game.
Yeah.
But we also had a 24-hour game where we brought teams in and out every hour that raised money.
I volunteered for that. Yeah, I volunteered. Because he was just very passionate about it, so it just inspired me to want to be part of it. So I volunteered to help him out that day, and that's how we started.
But if you think about it, that concept was teams in and out. Every one of those teams raised money, and that was for a day. So when Amy and I kind of did after the event, doing a little debrief, we were thinking, of course, we can't let this thing not go on because it had really great community support.
Yeah.
And that youth game was so successful.
And youth game was great.
That was a lot of fun.
And Andy worked his butt off.
Yeah.
Worked his butt off. He had to get 24 teams or 40, whatever it was, to fill an entire day. And we thought we can take that and make it a whole shift of that. It turned out that was a kid thing, more of a youth hockey. But we thought we can take that concept and make it to what it is. And here we are 3 years later, $5 million later.
Yeah.
And much of it was because we saw that was successful, and Andy, that was his project. So that's a pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's pretty cool that it evolved that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're not stopping.
No, that's you can't.
No.
You can't now. You got to keep going.
And I often say that things have gone well this year because he's looking down on us, and he's going to make sure it all goes well.
I text you. I go, he's going to be around, so he's going to make sure everything goes good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, your team, I don't know who's up. Somebody's up by 1. So we should probably let you go and get out there. I don't know. I'm hoping you're
They're
winning.
probably going to be telling me I'm dogging it or something.
So you can choose to or not to tell Mike. Maybe
Well, I'm not saying a word.
Okay,
Just grab him and go.
All right, we'll make sure it's like right after a shift. So he's like,
so he's breathing heavy and catch him off guard.
All right.
Definitely.
All right.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
You're like
so
a brother
much.
to us. We're so happy you're here.
Yeah, same here.
Have fun out there. Love you.
I definitely will. Love you too.
AdPro has provided these amazing jerseys in different colors, and today we have the red and the purple, and here they are. So that was a great AdPro video showing the different colors that we're representing the cancers tonight, pancreatic and leukemia. And great interviews with Bill and Kevin.
Two of the best guys.
They both ref. They play several times.
Lots of volunteer shifts.
Yeah, we couldn't do this without them.
And of course the connection to our good buddy Andy. R.I.P. buddy. Great game going on here though. Who are sponsors of these shifts, hon?
So Friday Night Hockey Guys is sponsored by Clean MD, and Crosscheck Cancer is sponsored by Styco Antenna Solutions.
Defensive battle, 1-0.
I love the red and the white here. Power player jersey looks sweet.
And of course, Bill and Kevin both have the power player versions, captain and power player versions.
Yeah, and they hit that power player status early, and they still continue to fundraise. In fact, I think they're pretty close to earning the hockey bag. So 5,000 benefits. If you hit $5,000, you get an 11-day power play branded hockey bag.
Oh, I see our good friend Ken Corp out there. Ken Corp is trying to play more shifts than anybody this year.
And I think Kenny's dedicating tonight to a family member. He's playing for his daughter today in support of her. And he's out there working hard. At least he's not wearing the muscle shirt tonight.
He probably is underneath. Kenny brought the red and white gloves, and he's on Team Purple, so he might have thought he was on Team Red and White.
Did I hear a rumor we were going to have Nate, our assistant, on set tonight?
Yep. As soon as he...
Can't wait to put him on the spot.
As soon as he orders dinner.
I think he's excited. I hope his parents are watching. And his girlfriend. Our fans in the stands are holding up. Anyone that bought one, thank you. You actually donated $25 to a player here at the 11-day power play, and we're able to put out a nice message in support of the players. And I can't even tell you how many players I've seen on social media posting themselves next to their fan.
I just noticed something. I'm sorry to interrupt you. There is Purple Parrot, Nick Carl, but also Mark Janis, who works for Benchmark Turnkey. I didn't even know he was out there. What a guy. Playing some staunch D.
So you know what I look forward to, Mike? I know you interviewed Bill from Riverworks. That's coming up tonight.
Yeah, GM at Riverworks. And
great partnership. They've been so great at Pearl Street Properties.
Yeah, Riverworks is one of 4 or 5. They have Pearl Street Brewery. They have this facility. They've got the Lafayette Hotel. And then this whole facility is just, it's Riverworks, the restaurant, the bar, the outdoor rinks, and the adventure. They have the ropes and adventure course up top, the beer garden. The goalie wearing a sweet Jofa, Arthur's Herbe style.
You know, it's so funny. I get so many player texts. They know we're live. And they're texting constantly. They can't wait to see their interview and their highlights. And yeah, if you're watching, instead of texting me, comment on YouTube. Because I don't want my phone dinging during our live stream. So we are, another score. Oh, 3-0, go Kev. We continue to raise awareness, cancer awareness throughout these 11 days. And I had the opportunity to sit down with Dr. Kelvin Lee at Roswell Park. And he had a lot to say about multiple myeloma, and here he is. Well, Dr. Lee, thank you so much for being with us today and taking the time out of your busy day.
Thank you for having me.
I'd love to just start and have you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about where you're from and why you do what you do.
My name's Kelvin Lee. I am the Jacobs Family Chair of Immunology here at Roswell Park. I'm also a professor in the Department of Medicine, and I see primarily myeloma patients, and I'm also the Senior Vice President for Basic Sciences. My journey here has been a long one, and I actually started at the University of Michigan, where I went to medical school, University of Colorado, where I did my internship and residency in internal medicine, back to Michigan to do my fellowship in hematology and oncology, and then the University of Miami, the Bethesda Naval Medical Research Center, and finally Roswell Park.
Wow.
I've been a traveling man, so.
Well, we're so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Can you explain in layman's term, or as easy as possible, what is myeloma?
So multiple myeloma is a blood cancer. So it is a cancer that is primarily found in patients' bone marrow, and it's all throughout the bone marrow. And multiple myeloma is actually the normal cell, the normal non-cancerous version of multiple myeloma are called plasma cells. And these are the cells that, in fact, make the antibodies that protect you against influenza, polio, smallpox, and COVID-19. So the normal cell plays a very important role in your immune system in protecting you against a bunch of infections. But for some reason, and it's not clear what exactly happens, that one of these cells develops a genetic mutation in it which causes it to become cancerous. It still goes to the bone marrow where normal plasma cells live, but it begins to grow uncontrollably. It grows pretty slowly, though, so patients can have a pre-malignant syndrome called monoclonal gammopathy of unknown significance, which is a long name, so we just call it MGUS. People can have MGUS. It's about 1% to 2% of the entire population. They can have it for decades. And only a small percentage of these MGUS patients actually turn into myeloma, where their MGUS cells begin to grow in an uncontrolled fashion. So that's what multiple myeloma is. It is, in fact, people call it a rare cancer, but it's the second most common blood cancer behind non-Hodgkin's lymphoma that afflicts patients worldwide.
Are there common symptoms? Somebody that has myeloma, multiple myeloma, will they feel a certain way? What are some signs of it?
So myeloma, in fact, is classically described as having effects that are encapsulated in the acronym CRAB, C-R-A-B. So these are the things that myeloma causes problems with. So because myeloma grows in the bone marrow and erodes the bone, it causes a release of calcium. So extra calcium in your blood is the C in CRAB, and extra calcium in your blood can cause problems like fatigue, drop in levels of alertness, can cause kidney problems. The R in CRAB stands for renal. Renal is Latin for the kidney. And the myeloma cells, they still make that antibody that they were originally designed to make, but they make much too much of it. And that in our staging of the disease or assessment of the disease is called the M protein. M actually stands for monoclonal or myeloma. And these antibodies actually gather to too high of a level in your blood. They make your blood too thick, and that clogs up your kidneys, and your kidneys stop working. So people can run into kidney failure, which is, again, caused by fluid overload, fatigue, difficulty breathing, things like that. The A in CRAB stands for anemia because the myeloma cells crowd out the regular bone marrow. You can't make a normal amount of red blood cells, so you become anemic, and that can be manifested by shortness of breath. people that could normally have gone up a flight of stairs without a problem now begin to notice they get really short-winded when they try to go do their sort of normal exercise. And then the B in CRAB stands for bones. Because myeloma erodes the bones, people can fracture bones. Completely doing normal activity. I had one patient who fractured her arm when she was picking up her grandkid. So those are the major clinical symptoms that patients will notice when their myeloma begins to get to the point where it's beginning to impact them in a bad way.
So there's incredible research that's going on here at Roswell Park. How important are the funds that are generated from the community to support you and your research? How important is that for you?
So it's incredibly important for two reasons. One is that I think that all of us in the myeloma field, so right now myeloma is considered incurable, that patients actually do live a fair amount of time. It's currently the median time from the diagnosis to when patients actually succumb to the disease is about 8 years. So it's not a rapidly a growing disease that takes a person's life, and progress really over the last, I would say, 10 years has expanded that time from when I first started in the field, it really was about 2 years. And every year it's gone longer. Every year the advances in research have really pushed the frontier forward to the point now where I think a lot of the folks that are doing myeloma research are thinking, gosh, we are close to a cure with novel immunotherapies, novel drugs. And so we're very excited. And the money raised by the 11-day power play goes to fund research to actually try to understand what are the weak points in myeloma? What are the novel therapeutics? How can we harness the immune system to attack myeloma? And that really has become an extraordinarily exciting area. And we think that it is only a matter of time, and only a short matter of time before we actually can say that we can cure this cancer. So we're very excited about that. The other thing that the funds from the 11-day power play really are extraordinarily important for the research community is the basic sense that as a researcher you are supported by the community. You are supported by people that really don't know you from Adam. As I've said many times, they don't know you from Adam, but they believe in what you do. So they go out there and they'll play a bazillion hours of hockey through all kinds of conditions to raise that money because they believe in you. And I always tell our researchers that that's almost more important than the money itself, to have the belief of a community, because research is hard. We fail all the time. I would say that 80% of what we do we fail at. Our patients pass away after very courageous struggles. So the support and the encouragement by everybody that's involved in the 11-day power play is of enormous emotional and psychological a source of strength for the researchers here.
That's wonderful. I know they'll be happy to hear that. They do really put a lot of effort in the fundraising, but also physically training.
Exactly. It's not an easy thing. Now, they don't have to do all 11 days anymore, right? They're doing it in shifts. I gotta take my hats off to the guys that did it, or the guys and the women that did it for all 11 days. That was pretty darn amazing in your first year. So.
Well, I know they loved meeting you back in January prior to the year starting and learning all about, the research going on here. What is it like being ranked 14th in the country out of all of the cancer care in the United States? How does that feel for you and your colleagues?
So it is both great, and it really is a testament to the wonderful team that's here. I mean, the people that are here are some of the most dedicated people on the planet. And you see that in the rankings. You also see that during the COVID-19 pandemic, back January, February, March, April, we shut down and then we restarted, and it went incredibly smoothly. And that really was a testament to all the people that are here, all their dedication to the mission, and the dedication to the patients and the research. On the other hand, we're all sitting there going, we should have been ranked higher than 14. So we have something to shoot for going forward. So, and that's good. That means that there's a hunger to be even better than we are now. So.
It's incredible that you are ranked number 14th. We have Roswell Park in our backyard, and people that live in our community don't have to travel so far to get to an incredible hospital. You're right here. Any last words for the hockey players and the volunteers and everyone that supports the 11-day power play?
I just want to thank you guys for all that you do, all the dedication. I actually think that what you guys are doing is harder than the research that we do, because the research we do, we understand, and we've been doing it for a long time. But to take time off to dedicate yourself to such a worthy cause, the training, the ice time, the uncertainty this year of how things will get done and where things will get done, I think that's even harder than coming to work every day and doing lab work and doing research. So again, hats off to all you guys, or helmets off to all you guys for the tremendous work that you do.
Well, thank you, Dr. Lee, for being here today and for talking to us. It's been wonderful.
You're welcome. It's great being part of it. One of these days I'll learn to skate. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, and I've tried several times, and it has been a general disaster. But, one of these days.
We will save you a spot on the bench.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Dr. Lee.
You're welcome.
Dr. Lee, awesome man. So energetic and so passionate about his work. And here we have the other brother, Michael Boucard.
We're going to take a break with Michael Boucard. We've had the opportunity to speak to Brendan and then Kevin and now Michael.
Yes.
And we caught Michael mid-game.
I've been dying to ask you this. Let's start off with this. Jean shorts. I've never seen a guy out there
My
in jean
theory
shorts.
is if I were to fall, I wouldn't get the bad, right? Wouldn't get the rash. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Are you wearing a leather jacket underneath that?
No, I'm not. No, I thought about wearing my skateboard knee pads, but I didn't want to look like one of those guys.
I guarantee you have a leather jacket somewhere in the closet.
I don't.
Really?
Nah, it's not my style.
Jean jacket.
Yeah.
Probably with like a Clash patch on the back.
No, it's just like a Carhartt thing.
All right, so tell us what's going on in this game, because I did see, before you answer that, I did see Kevin Boucard score a goal.
He did. He did score a goal. Yeah. He's having a little problems with his stick tape, but he's fixed. He's working on that right now.
Well, he's already played already, so he should know better, right?
Well, you would think, but I don't know. This whole thing, for me, I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, what should I buy? A street hocky stick? Do I use this stick?
You couldn't find one like in the garage, in the basement?
Oh, I got
go to
a
your
lot of
parents'
sticks.
house?
Well, this is I found one here, but I also brought I have one of my brother Andy's old sticks, and I have it with me. And I thought, well, in case, I used it last year, and I thought, well, I'd bring it this year, and just as a memento.
Yeah. Well, we've talked a lot about Andy, as you can imagine. May have shed a tear or two. Andy's always with us, and I know you guys play in his honor. I see AJB on the goalie stick, so he'll always be our family. You guys have become very close to us in a very short duration, and your family has become so involved in the 11-day. We really appreciate it and love having you part of it.
It's a great event. It's a great fundraiser. I think it brings a certain sect of the community that I don't think really participated in this thing unless you wanted to ride a bike or go bowling or something like that. And I think the hockey thing is really kind of an interesting take on it, and it's still like an endurance thing, and it gives a chance for some fat old men to relive the glory of their teenage years.
Growing up in West Seneca, you definitely played a little street hockey.
All the time, daily. We were out there. We usually, before we had actual nets with netting in it, we had the sawhorses with the boards hammered to the back of them.
Of course.
Then we eventually,
I mean, we did everything from that to old couch cushions, with pads.
Yeah.
So
we did all that stuff.
This is glorious compared to those days.
Oh my God, is it ever?
Well, we're glad you guys are having fun.
Yeah, it is. I'm having a lot of fun right now.
So I'm trying to figure out, are you guys 2 or 5?
We are 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we should probably let them go back into the game so that we
I
don't
think
get
they
blamed.
All right. Well, thanks for having me.
Michael.
Thanks for the event. It's really great.
Yeah.
And my wife, I'm supposed to find somebody named Nathan about getting my My
Masks?
power play mask.
Yeah.
My wife has been
So we're
hounding me.
We're going to be talking to Nate tonight, so we'll be sure
I need to find him. My
Yeah.
wife's been emailing him frantically.
So you want the power play mask?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We got one for the whole family.
We have to send one to our daughter who's in Pittsburgh going to school right now. So.
Okay. Where's she at?
Pitt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So
First
gorgeous
year?
there.
Yeah, she's a freshman. So.
We have a daughter that looked at that. So gorgeous there.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Get out there, score some goals.
Yeah.
You got three to make up.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, good to see
Good
ya.
to see ya.
Yeah.
Comment. Somebody's rooting for their dad. Is it Brian
Sampson.
Sampson?
Yep. Team Purple.
Team Purple.
Who is up 5-4. 3 minutes left in the first half. Kenny Corp coming. Oh, Corpy. Just misses.
Corpy says hi to his daughter.
Kevin Boucard with the big clear. Corpy's looking good out there in purple. Purple's very slimming on Corpy.
I still can't believe Michael was wearing jean shorts. Like long jean shorts. Like if you're going to fall, you're going to hit your knee, but they didn't cover his knee.
They were just over. Boucard's Team White making a comeback. It's now 5-4.
Nick Carl in the corner.
Nick Carl with the knee brace. He had knee surgery earlier this year, so he's...
If you haven't seen the Carl Brothers
Another save.
feature, go to YouTube, our YouTube channel, 11-Day Power Play. If you're watching right now, you're watching. But look for the Carl Brothers video. Those guys are great. And if you need help fundraising and learning how to do new tricks to fundraise, you want to call them. So our production crew spends a lot of time disinfecting our headsets when our guests, we have so many guests, and my microphone right now smells like Clorox bleach.
And Clean MD solution.
They are awesome this year.
Ever present Clean MD.
You know, I haven't been able to ask them, but they do some sort of static, is it static cleaning, where they just use this gun and takes 10 minutes.
Corpy to Carl. Carl over. Oh, what a save. These guys are going at it. It's a good game. Last minute to play in the first half.
Friday Night Hockey, guys, sponsored by Clean MD.
Mark Janis
versus
to
Crosscheck
Corpy.
Cancer, sponsored by Styco Aviation. Oh, I'm sorry, Antenna Solutions. Styco Antenna Solutions.
Nice
Thank
play
you.
by Nick Carl. Mark Janis with the tip.
Thank you for your sponsorship.
Corpy.
Mike keeps interrupting me with his play-by-plays.
Sorry.
Trying to, make sure I get all the sponsorship benefits in. And
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I already said it.
I'm
We've
sorry.
got 10 seconds left. It's 4-5, close game. These guys are
5 to
obviously
4. It's 5 to 4.
Oh, 5 to 4. I'm supposed to say the higher number first. And it's Friday night, and the Friday night hockey guys are playing. How ironic is that?
How ironic.
And then yesterday we had the Thursday night hockey guys, or Thursday night
Almost as if we
Cancer
planned it that
Crusaders
way.
playing yesterday.
Almost as if we
don't really
planned
do
it.
that. I mean, we should probably talk at some point about how we do the schedule, because I think people
Oh, really?
would be really curious, because when you have 184 teams, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But you always do it every year. You do a great job.
Well, thank you.
So
I
we
try.
clearly are not broadcasters. We do the best we can, and sometimes we get stuck. So we're going to go to the Crowley Webb Stuck Bucket because we have nothing else to talk about. Has nothing to do with our production, guys. This is all planned. This is all to like promote Crowley Webb, our awesome sponsors. So we're pretending that we're stuck. So, Mike, what is the longest road trip you took for hockey?
Oh, that's an easy one. But before I tell you the longest, there are many. I played as a kid. Our daughter played. Our son played. So with Liam, we've been to Massachusetts, Michigan.
I think it's supposed to be about you.
I
Your
know. I'm going to get
longest.
to it, but
Okay.
we've been to a lot of places. It's cool to think about.
I know. You're going to take my answer, though.
Maybe. But me personally, when I was 12 years old, I played in a tournament it was the national championship, and it was in Anchorage, Alaska. So that was cool. And you didn't go. I'm not going to answer your question, but last year, 2 years ago, Liam had a weekend in Anaheim, California. That was pretty close. And I've personally been to Florida for the adult over 30 and over 40 nationals. Buffalo Icemen champs, by the way.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yep. But you also did a little traveling with us, with Liam.
Yeah,
Not
the
me.
Quebec,
Your
the
longest
Pee-wee.
your longest road trip with me was Rochester.
For your game.
Yeah.
Was that
Maybe the only road
Rochester?
trip.
I think it was Hamburg.
No, it was Rochester.
The longest road trip I've taken for hockey, because I didn't know hockey before I met you, was the Pee-wee Quebec tournament, which was super cool. It was a long drive, and it was super cold. Have you ever been to Quebec in the winter besides that trip?
Well, I played in that tournament as a kid, so I
that's
was
right,
there
you
as a
did play.
kid.
Do you remember it being that cold? Like when you walk outside and you breathe it through your nose, like in, your nostrils freeze.
Do you remember? Let's talk about that for a second, because there's one night we were with the Despirits. We stayed with. We rented a condo with, which is so much fun. But there was one night in particular that was so fun. Do you remember how it progressed?
So it had
was super
rained.
cold out.
It had rained, and
Right.
then at night we went to a restaurant on the top of a hill, and we always wondered the whole week why there were railings along storefronts. Like,
Yep.
why are these railings there? Well, they were there because of the hill and how cold it gets, and we were sliding down this hill.
Literally sliding.
I mean, Julia was with us, our daughter.
And it wasn't little hills, like this winding hill that was like a mile long.
Yeah, that was crazy. But then we got to the condo, and was it Mike Despirit or Krista? Or was it you?
I think it was me.
You put the key in the door, and we were freezing. We were so cold. You turn the key, and the key breaks.
The key broke off.
It was, I mean, a key breaks. It was a big key, too. So we had to call the landlord, who lived 45 minutes away, and we were all frozen.
we sat in the hallway.
So that was the longest road trip and the coldest road trip I've ever taken.
And it was fun.
It was the most fun. I mean, I've been on a lot of hockey trips, but the Spirits are dear friends. Our sons have played together since they were 6, 7 years old, and I'm gonna miss that next year because Maddie's going to a different team, and Liam's going to Connecticut.
Yep. So next year we'll be doing trips to Connecticut.
Hockey parents out there understand what we're talking about.
Yep.
You create these bonds and you get to know these families, and then.
But with the Junior Sabres, what was really fun is they have, it's like a league that we travel on a pretty regular basis. So we're in Pittsburgh on a regular basis. We're in Rhode Island. We were in Rhode Island on a regular basis. We were in New Jersey.
We were in New York City in February
we were in New
before
York
the
City.
pandemic came.
Yep. We were in
I'm
New York
sure
City.
COVID was there at that time.
Of course. We've been to Detroit several times. We've been to Toronto. I mean,
a billion times.
Yep. We went to North Carolina for nationals. That was pretty cool. Charlotte, right? Yeah, Charlotte. We've been to, as I said, Anaheim. But Alaska for me was the longest trip. When I was a kid, we did the Quebec City in the same years we did Anchorage, Alaska Nationals, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's, when you're a peewee, 12, 13 years old as a kid, that's like you're in the prime of youth hockey, and it's so much fun.
Mike, you're wearing white sneakers, a white hat, and a white shirt tonight. I'm pretty impressed.
Shout out to my friends at Reale.
Craig Curtin,
Les Kuntar. So we are less than 10 grand away from $1.1 million. This is how easy it is. Go to our website, hit donate.
If you have not donated in 2020, we ask you to donate and help us get to 1.1. You can. It's
on the
anything.
screen, we are showing how it takes less than a minute to make a donation. I think we were at right about 8 grand until 1.1. We've got tonight, tomorrow night, and then Sunday to get there.
So if you've donated, thank you. If you haven't donated, please do. Our beneficiaries need us more than ever this year. And it is time for the Lamar Stat Board, our Lamar friends. If you haven't seen our billboards across Buffalo.
Now this is so interesting.
They help us every year to spread the news of the 11-day power play.
Because of COVID, we have to completely change how we do things.
Yes.
And that means a reduction in the number of people that we can have here. And as you see there, the total volunteers we have is 35, 18 refs, and 17 for helping with checking in jerseys. That is like 5% of what we usually need to put on the event. And with the reduction in players in and out, we don't need.
We could have had more volunteers this year, but we chose to make sure that every volunteer consistently knew the safety protocols, and so we kept fewer volunteers and here more often, and they've been doing a great job. I mean,
always such good people.
I just love seeing them every day. Everyone has a smile on. I think people are happy to get out and do something. Everyone, of course, is wearing masks, and sometimes it's hard to recognize each other. But all those safety protocols are being put in place, and we're grateful for them because we could not do this on our own.
We were looking at our YouTube feed, and Brian Sampson, to answer your question, of course not. We would not call your dad Husky. Your dad is out there running around looking great in purple.
Why? What did you say?
He asked if we said his dad looked large.
Did you say that?
No.
Oh, gosh, I hope not.
I don't know where that came from. But of course we would never do
you're
that.
wearing white tonight, so you're looking a little heftier than you usually look.
I've been eating awesome Riverworks food all week.
Well, that's true. So every day we get to talk to our players. I think that's one thing that I feel blessed about this year. COVID has allowed us to spend a little bit more time with our players coming in and out because we have less teams. And here is what our players had to say.
Well, it's an amazing community event. I was asked to be a part of it first time this year, and I've seen what events like this can do to help change people, and I couldn't have been more ecstatic to be a part of it.
It's a blessing to be out here. Thank you to all the organizers for doing this every year. It's a great event, and especially being able to put on something so good given the pandemic. So everything's going really well.
It's an amazing sport. You know, I've got a lot of friends who've done it, built a lot of friends that I call family. You know, it's fun. That's the top thing. It's a lot of fun.
Right off the bat, I started hunting down some friends that I knew that were affected by this horrible disease, and they were willing to jump on board with my campaign, and got the ball rolling. And then everybody I use Facebook to pretty much get all my donations, and then family and friends outside of it.
Hey, disappointment first when we thought that it was going to be canceled, but once they brought it back to be street hockey, you know, it's kind of like going back to be a kid. I haven't played street hockey in maybe since high school, it felt like, so it was pretty cool.
Just getting underway here in the second half. Minute in, 5-4, great game. Got all the starters and the big names out there. Billy Holden just a bit outside. We got the big combination of Kevin and Michael Boucard playing D. Oh, he's giving Holden the business in front of the net. Nick Carl's out there. Kenny Corp is out there against Boucart's. Oh, just misses. Archer Zerbe in net with the Jofa save. These guys are scrapping too. Mark Kuntz, our good buddy. Always good for a little razzing. Said, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. He must have heard me talking about Detroit. I'm going the white shoes, white hat. Thanks to Craig Curtin, Les Kuntar. We got a great game going here. Oh, Michael Boucard goes from D to forward seamlessly. You always know it's a good game when you hear those sticks clashing against each other. Oh, Michael Boucard! We're gonna put that to the test whether or not the jean shorts work, because he just went down on his butt hard. Nice move. Nice save. Oh, Boucard going hard into the corner. Still no score in the second half here. 4 minutes in. 5-4. Michael Boucard was feeling a little pessimistic about the game. It was 5-2 at the time. He goes back in there. End of the first half. It's 5-4. Kenny Corp up, down, and off. White goalie is sticking in there hard. Mark Janis with the ball. Mark typically a defensive player. Well, we got some numbers here. Oh, blew up. Slipped on the surface. Oh no, 3-on-1. Nick Carroll cannot get it together. He's rung one off the post. He's made a couple nice passes. He just can't connect. Michael Boucard, once again, this guy is a phenomenal player. Let's go, Janis. Mark Janis, fun fact, absolute awesome excavator, dozer, operator. This guy can move the iron. He's an operator for excavator and a bulldozer and anything that any piece of equipment we put him on. He works for Benchmark Turnkey. Team White. Oh, could have been the tying goal. Nice save by Arturs Urbe. Team White looking to tie it up here. Still can't do it. Putting the pressure on. Billy Holden with the clear. Kenny Corp catches it. With those alligator arms. Oh, nice play by Carl. Good shot. Oh! Goal or no goal? Nice play by Carl. Some people are just goal scorers, Nikki. .64 purple. Nice play by Nick Carl. Bill Holden picking up the garbage. Another gorgeous night out at Riverworks, by the way. One little weather event yesterday afternoon was a pretty bad storm, and rain's not an issue around here. We're covered, but the storm came in hard and windy, and it actually caused a little bit of water on the surface. Yeah, they had to cut their shift a little short, and we found a way to get him back out here to play a little bit more, which is great. All right, I'm going to take a little break from the play-by-play for a moment.
for blood cancers tonight, and I had the pleasure of meeting with Dr. Wang a couple weeks ago at Roswell Park, and she had a lot of information to share with us. Thank you for joining us today, Dr. Wang.
Sure, no problem at all.
First, I just want to kind of get to know you. Could you tell us a little bit about where you're from and why you do what you do?
So I'm originally from Massachusetts. I grew up outside Boston, and I've sort of traveled all over the world for my training. I was in Los Angeles, in New York City, and Connecticut. And then when I finished my training, when it came time to get a job, my husband and I were looking around at a lot of different options, and we chose Buffalo. And we have been here for more than, I think, 16 or 17 years. We've raised our kids here. We have a home. And this is still my first job, and I still love it. So
wonderful. Now you treat leukemia.
Yes.
Could you tell us what leukemia is?
So leukemia is just a fancy name for blood cancer. So instead of saying lung cancer or breast cancer or prostate cancer, we say leukemia, which means it's a blood cancer. There's different categories of leukemia. There's acute leukemia, which is really rapidly growing, immediately life-threatening blood cancer. And then there's chronic leukemias, which is more slow-growing, indolent, and people can live for months or years with very little treatment. However, for the acute leukemia, which is what I typically specialize in, it's really important for those individuals to come to medical attention and to seek care quickly. Generally, that means getting a blood test or even a biopsy of the bone marrow, which is the source of the cancer cells, and to start therapy within a week or two of their diagnosis because of the risk of complications and other things that can happen in these individuals. The other thing that we see more and more of is that the individuals getting diagnosed with some of these blood cancers are usually older individuals in their 60s and 70s. There could be people that had prior chemotherapy for another cancer who have survived and develop a therapy-related leukemia. So we're seeing more and more of it in the community, and as the chief of the leukemia service, we have a dedicated crew of 6 physicians and 10 nurse practitioners and dedicated research staff. All we do day in and day out is to fight against this particular type of blood cancer. We're highly specialized and highly experienced, and that's kind of our life's mission.
Well, thank you. That's amazing work that you do. For somebody that may not know what warning signs or symptoms could be of leukemia, what would some of the symptoms be?
Some of the symptoms are really vague. There's nothing specific. One thing that we see is patients with excessive bleeding. So if they blow their nose, they have a nosebleed and it lasts for like 30 minutes, an hour, or they start developing spots and bruising, that might be a sign that their blood counts are low. Other people develop just significant fatigue. They just can't move. They get short of breath. Those individuals come to medical attention because they feel awful or they get an infection or they're exhausted, and they go in and lo and behold they discover that their blood counts are off, either extraordinarily high or extraordinarily low. And when those tests come back, that should really prompt a referral to our office, because we're really the only center in this particular region that's highly specialized for the treatment of acute leukemias.
Now, I'm assuming, Dr. Wang, that you're very involved with research here at Roswell
Yes.
Park. Could you tell us why it's important for the community to donate to Roswell and to the research projects here?
So every single therapy that we have for cancer, including leukemia, has come out of a clinical trial, and that is testing new drugs that are developed in the laboratory and seeing that they work in patients and then them becoming the standard of care. So we have a mission not only to treat patients, which many doctors do in the community, but to push the envelope, to be cutting edge, to bring the newest therapies. Just in the last few years, I would have to say from 2017 till now, we've had 9 new drugs approved for the treatment of acute myeloid leukemia, which is what I specialize in. And I'm proud to say that at Roswell Park, it is a priority to bring those therapies to the community before they're FDA approved. So 7 of those therapies were here in our patients here in the Buffalo, Western New York area before they were approved by the FDA. When you have cancer, you don't want to wait. You don't want to be told, okay, 2 years from now there's going to be a drug for you. You need a drug now. You need therapy now, and that all comes from research. In addition to enrolling patients, we actively perform research. Every single one of my physicians on my service is involved in clinical research or laboratory research. And the support of the community is so key, because when you have a new drug, nobody knows anything about your drug. Nobody knows that it's going to help cure leukemia patients. In order to get that information, that data, we need to do research. But there's really very little funding when you have a product that nobody knows anything about. And so oftentimes people dismiss it. Major grant agencies and the government, they say there's not enough data, we're not interested, we're going to support somebody at a better funded place. And so the seed money for our research comes from the community, from individuals, patients, families that are touched with the disease that say, hey, you know what, Dr. Wang, I want to make things better, not only for my family member, but for future family members and future patients, that I'm going to pay it forward. You know, every day we have to do that. We have to look beyond ourselves. And this is an opportunity now in the middle of a global pandemic for us to think not just of ourselves, but of the people around us. Everything that we do, social distancing, masking, keeping our kids out of school, is for the greater good. And giving money to cancer research is a great thing, because you're going to see the results. You're going to see research coming out of here. You're going to see clinical trials and patients here that are going to get something. And the benefit of giving here is that you're not giving to a cancer center in California or in New York City or in Boston. The money comes here and stays in our community, and that's what we need.
Now, you mentioned seed money. Could you explain what seed money is?
So seed money is if I have an idea, I have something I'm really excited about, but I can't do the research. I can't buy the reagents. I can't hire the tech. I can't open the clinical trials. So the seed money, which is donations from the community and from generous donors, provides the initial money for us to do those experiments. Once we do those experiments and we can demonstrate that this drug works and is extremely promising, then we can go to the larger grant agencies and say to them, look, here is a great project. And that's when we get the $10,000 becomes $100,000, when the $100,000 becomes $2 million. One of my colleagues, Paul Klowinski, came here and had some seed money to come here a few years ago, and he recently got a grant for immunotherapy for $14.5 million to be led out of Roswell Park, and that came from individuals donating money a few years ago and investing in him and his ideas. That's what seed money is. In this highly competitive atmosphere, just like anything, you know, you go to a national grant agency, they're funding less than 10% of the grants. I submitted a grant and they didn't even review it. They sent me an email and they said, thank you very much, Dr. Wang, but we had over 120 grant applications and we were only able to fund 5. And unfortunately, your research was great, but we just didn't select you. And so that's where the seed money comes in, because then I can go and I can get some money when I'm not one of those 5 out of 120 grants, and I can start something, I can light a fire, I can get the data, and I can go back to them. And then maybe next time I'll be in the top 10 or the top 3, and then I'm going to get the grant money. And if I get the grant money, it's going to be done here at Roswell, and it's going to benefit our patients. You know, those research things that you see those advertisements on the radio and like in the news, that money goes somewhere else. Why would you want to donate your money to somewhere else? We all have choices, right? And we need that money here.
Amazing. COVID has affected cancer patients in such a tremendous way. How has it affected cancer care here at Roswell Park?
Well, I'm proud to say that we have done an outstanding job of responding to the COVID pandemic. We've had, at the time of the outbreak in mid-March, we've developed very, very safe policies and procedures. Our infection rate is extremely low. All of our inpatients are screened. We have created, I would say, a very safe environment to the point where I feel safe coming to work, and I want to reassure my patients that my duty is to make them feel safe coming here as well. All of our patients, I feel like, are protected. We're always thinking about them. We're always thinking about the risk. Every day we're reporting symptoms, getting our temperature checked. We're creating as safe an environment as possible, because it shouldn't be a choice. cancer patients should not have to choose between coming in and getting cancer care versus getting a risk of the infection. It is essential that cancer patients, they can't delay, they can't take 3 months off. The cancer is not going to say, oh, well, there's a global pandemic, I'm not going to metastasize and progress. So it's important for us to continue to provide the care. Cancer can't wait, we can't wait. It's our job to ensure that our patients get that treatment. And I think we've done an outstanding job of doing that.
I know I feel safe coming here at Roswell Park.
Yes.
I walk in, everybody's being screened, there's PPE, personal protective equipment
I mean, we
everywhere.
give a mask to everybody that comes in here. We screen people. I mean, it's highly regulated. I mean, I have patients who say, I'm scared, I want to come to the hospital, I think that I'm going to get it. And when they come here, when I finally convince them to venture out, they say, my God, had I known that you guys were doing all these things, I would have come earlier.
So Roswell Park just recently was ranked number 14 in cancer care across the United States. How does that feel for you being a physician here?
I am incredibly honored. I'm proud. I feel like my child has come home from school and has gotten on the honor roll. It's an incredible honor, and you know why it's an honor? Because it's a national poll. So we're 14 out of 400 cancer centers around the country. This is an honor not just for Roswell, but for the entire community and the people and the environment and the families and the patients that come here. They are all part of making us great. And the recognition that we get here at Roswell reflects back into the greater community. New York State has probably dozens of cancer centers. We are one of 2 cancer centers in the entire state to be recognized in the top 15. And there are many, many, many cities and communities which didn't rank as high as we do. So this is really a testament to not just Roswell, but everybody at Roswell, the researchers, everybody, the groundsmen, the janitors, the nurses, the people who greet people, and all the donors in the community that have made us so wonderful. I'm glad to see that we are being recognized for the quality and the care that we provide, as well as the research that we're doing.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you as well. I think the donations that we receive from the 11-day power play, it's a really important key community builder spirit that we have here. It's unique. It's something that grew out of Roswell's own staff and the community here. It's something that is really special and different.
Well, we have a lot of hockey players that play in the event every year. They prepare, they fundraise, they work out and make sure that they can get through their shifts.
I know.
It really is great to see that, the dollars that they raise really support this hospital. Is there a message that you have for any of the players out there?
I said I could never do what you do. The idea of hour after hour after hour being on the ice, I think just is amazing, and to me it epitomizes just watching you guys play the battle that we have every day against cancer. So it is like the actual epitome of our struggles against cancer and how we're never going to give up and how you're going to continue to do your part, we're going to continue to do our part. It's a great partnership, and I think it totally reflects the spirit and the grit and the determination that we have to fight cancer in the activities and the event that you sponsor. It's great to see that, and I'm so inspired when I watch it, and I think everybody else is as well.
Well, thank you, Dr. Wayne, for taking all the time that you did today to spend with us. She's not stopping. She's doing everything she can to help patients at Roswell. It's really nice to meet her. All about leukemia. What's the score, Mike?
Got a great game here. So Kevin Boucard's team was cross-check cancer. They were down by one and two goals, and then the Friday Night Hockey guys were up. Now it went from 6-5 Friday Night Hockey guys to 8-6 cross-check cancer Kevin Boucard's team. It's now 8-7. 1-goal game, 12 minutes left. Guys are doing great.
So how are we doing in the fundraising arena?
fundraising is going well. We are $7,400 away. We are $7,400 away from the 1.1, and we've got 2 days to get there. So I think we can do it. We do still need a few donations. Do you have a list of some of the recent donors?
Yeah, according to our countdown to closing shift, we are 1 day and 22 hours away. And at that point, we hope we're at $1.1 million. And the last 10 donations that have come through is a Tom Dinder.
Thank you, Tom.
A Josh Evoy, I'm probably saying that wrong. Joyce Barker, Christopher Peck, Len Schrantz.
Do they say who they're playing for or the donating to? No, it's just the last donation.
Joseph Grillo, Brian Cross, Lisa Egan, and Gary Booling.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, everyone's so generous. We thank you. Please, if you can and you haven't donated yet, send a donation in. Just go to 11daypowerplay.com and you will see a nice donate button.
So we have also, I want to recognize some folks. We talk about, we talk to some of the top fundraisers, and they're recognized in our opening and closing. But I have exactly a $14.07 lead on Bill Chef Lucas.
Oh my gosh, that's so close.
$14. But Bill Chef Lucas is amazing. He's raised over $35,000 this year alone.
That's the most he's ever raised. I mean, he raises a lot every year, but I think that might be the most he's ever raised single-handedly.
Yeah, and it's worth repeating. His team got to $100,000 this year, just this year, and his team has raised it's close to $210,000 over 3 years, which is amazing.
We just got a donation from a KJ Zach, DZIAK. You don't know how to say that. DZIAK. How do you say that last name?
Jick. I'm not sure. So there's Bill. Mike Carl, who's playing tonight. No, excuse me. Mike Carl's at 26,600. His brother, Nick, who's right behind him at 23,000, is playing tonight. Greg Belliati, part of Team KTC, over $16,000. Of course, our really good friends, Mike and Cameron Chase, on behalf of Owen Strong, have raised $14,000.
And they're playing tomorrow.
Can't wait to see those guys. Mark Schulte, who came out of the gates just flying, has raised almost $12,000. Big Mark. Thanks, Marky. Hannah Lockwood, ever-present Hannah Lockwood. What's the name of her team?
Mighty Pucks.
Mighty Pucks.
How'd you forget that?
$10,400. Thank you, Hannah. So nice. Cappy, Dave Kaplan, one of the original 40 guys, really stepped it up this year. He raised over $9,300. Mike Surdick, love you, brother. We're with you, brother. $9,200. Keith Waldron. Keith was the subject. He and Julie and their son were subject of a uplifter video that was very touching. Keith raised over $8,000 this year. Ken Franasiak from Kalmar. Thanks, Ken. Twice, 2 years in a row, Ken's raised a ton of money, and we're very thankful for that. Thank you, Ken. All these people I've talked about have raised more than $5,000.
In 2020.
In just this year, just this year. Scotty Hahn, my good buddy from Weekend Hockey, over $7,000. Adam Carl. So yes, 3 Carl brothers all raised over $5,000, and together, let's see, I'm going to call it 7.
Looks like I have a lot of hockey bags I'm ordering.
Yeah. 34.
Branded 11-day power play hockey bags. I've seen one sample and I was like, okay, you're getting one. Liam didn't reach 5,000, but he got pretty close. Our son Liam. I'm sure he'll be stealing yours.
The Carl brothers have raised $60,000 between them, which is awesome. Paul McCormick, thank you, Paul. He's raised over $6,000. Lori Jablonski, of course. Laura, if you're listening, thank you. We love you. We had a great night with you that night because you had not only your game going on, the Jabs for Life game here at Riverworks, you also had a concurrent game going on at the U.S. Naval Academy, which was awesome. Pat Ballantyne knocked it out of the park.
I think Pat gets the most improved for his effort. I mean,
Yeah.
he's always put a lot of effort in, but this year, more than ever, I mean, he's always volunteered, he's always roughed, but his fundraising is just, he's blown it out of the water this year.
And he complimented how nice you looked.
Yes, he said my dress was nice the other night. Thanks, Pat.
Jonathan Chef Lucas, Bill's brother, much better looking, smarter, better hockey player. If he could just, get into the same atmosphere as Bill with the fundraising. Jonathan, awesome job, man. Love you. John McCartney.
You realize you love a lot of people.
Of course. $5,500, John. Thanks, brother. Tim and Jack Julio. Over $5,200.
Wow.
Picker, Dave Pick, original 40 guy. He's raised over $5,000.
Awesome, Dave. Thank you.
Jacob Barbario, over $5,000. And then just a couple that were just under $5,000, but we're going to call it $5,000. Or Todd Hensler, Mark Brand, Nick Kazmierski, Ray Miller, just saw you the other day. Trey Barrett, always, always, always supportive of us. Chris Ackline, Rodney
Herring?
No.
Rodney Keppen?
Keppen.
Oh.
Make fun of me because I say the name
you
differently.
always say it
Rodney's
wrong.
one of our closest friends. And it's that's a lot of people that have raised that much money.
So we have a close game over here. It's 9-8.
9-8.
And I said 9 first. You can't make fun of me.
9-8. It was just 8-8 a second ago. It's 9-8, and that is cross-check cancer. Kevin Boucard, who just cleared the ball out of the zone.
We just got a $50 Facebook donation. Just so everybody knows, if you make a donation through Facebook, it's awesome to do it that way, but we don't get your information. So we can't say who donated, but thank you so much. And just to go through our sponsors. Our top sponsors are Crawley Webb, our power player sponsors, Excelsior Orthopedics, Lamar, New Era Cap, Tops Friendly Markets, and Uplifter Video, and our presenting sponsor is Clever Method, Modern Marketing.
I also just wanted to say our good buddy Kenny Corp, he wanted to dedicate this segment to his daughter Marissa, who is supporting someone going through cancer right now. So Kenny, we love you, and we're with you and Marissa.
Feel free to ask us a question on YouTube or tell us how much you miss going to Sabres games and what you miss about it. I mean, not that the Sabres would be playing yet, but hopefully we can get back to being in the stands at the Sabres games. It was fun talking to Pat Colletta last night. If you missed that interview, you can go to our YouTube videos and you can see Maddie, and I always say her name wrong. So Maddie's last name, Mike?
Ilya.
Buffalo Butte and the Sabres alumni.
I didn't get a chance to. Kenny Corp just gets the game-tying goal with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. I didn't get a chance with the segue. We had a Stuck Bucket question about my hidden talents and was washing dirt. Maddie's family is a company called Sevenson Environmental. They've been a supporter of our event in the past, and for several years. And their main business is environmental contracting and remediation. So I forgot to mention that in our discussion with Maddie.
And today's sponsor for this game, Friday Night Hockey Guys, are sponsored by Clean MD, and Crosscheck Cancer is sponsored by, is it Styco?
I believe it's Styco.
Styco Antenna Solutions. Thank you so much for supporting the 2020 event.
9-9 goes to 10-9. 2 minutes left. This is going to get good. 2 minutes left. 1 goal game. So we definitely have to watch the rest of this, the last minute and a half of this game here, because it's a 1 goal game.
It's the second period. It's 10-9.
Ten to 9. Minute 20 left. Yep, 2 halves. We're playing 2 40-minute running time halves here. I wonder if Purple's going to pull the goalie. Good play by White. I feel like I want to yell, pull the goalie, pull the goalie.
You're not allowed to coach from here.
Pull the goalie, pull the goalie.
I mean, who's in charge over there?
I don't know.
30,
here he
32
comes.
seconds.
Here he comes. Oh, they got the big line out there. Corpy.
Who's down?
Carl.
Purple?
Purple's down. Oh, Corpy had it in front. They got the extra attacker out there. Corpy in front. He just tied it with 16 seconds left.
10-10.
I think we should give him 1 shootout. What do you think? Should we give him 1 shootout? Yeah, we got to do
Yeah,
this.
you got to do that.
Got to give him 1 shootout. One each. That's it.
Great game.
We're going to do a shootout. Pick your top shooter. 1 shot each.
1 shot each.
Look at Nate in charge. We're going to talk in a little bit to Nate, our assistant.
1 shot each.
You guys are going to do a shootout. 1 shot each. Got to break the tie.
All right. Not many games go to a tie.
Shout out to Dave Shotwell. He's been volunteering roughing for quite a while today.
All right, let's get going here. We'll let Purple go first. This is Nick Carl coming out.
Okay.
Nick Carl.
Nick Carl, Purple
Wow.
Parrot.
I think that's a good decision.
My Bucky misses it.
Score?
Nick Carl with the
Wow.
goal. All right, it's either tie it or lose it. All right, see if Artur Zerbe's got it in him. So right now it's 11-10. If he scores, it's an 11-11 tie, which isn't the worst thing in the world. I think he goes top glove. Goal!
Ends with a tie game.
Game over, 11-11. I love it.
We're going to end it at 11-11. A fitting way.
Great game. We had to end it there.
I want to see 11-11 on that board.
Well, for those of you that don't know, we have 2 teams coming in. So we need to make sure our teams leave, the teams that are playing, before the 2 new teams arrive. It's part of our safety protocol. So we'd love to keep going, but we can't.
So these guys will wrap it up, and then we'll reset here.
know how you do it every year, but you top it.
When you see a familiar face, it makes you want to keep playing harder.
First time playing and it turns into street hack. I'm a little worried about it.
We were just saying goodbye to Bill Holden, who just had a great game against Kevin Boucard. Yeah, against
right.
Kevin Boucard.
That's right.
They're such great friends that you forget that they're opponents. But welcome back. We are here at Riverworks, the 11-day power play. I'm Amy Lesikowski.
And I'm Mike Lesikowski.
Mike, how are we doing with fundraising?
Well, we are getting close to $1.1 million. We are approximately $8,000 away. We're going to continue pressing for the 1.1 throughout tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday.
We hope to exceed it because our beneficiaries need us now more than ever, and we could never do this event without our sponsors. This event is presented by Clever Method Modern Marketing and our Power Player sponsors and our Overtime sponsors.
And of course, the money goes to our very, very well-deserving beneficiaries, Roswell Park, Make-A-Wish, Camp Good Days, and the Roswell Park Oshai Children's Hospital collaboration. So earlier today, we had a chance to catch up with Pete Merlot from Team TKS, Team Kenstrel, as well as Tim Weber from Labella.
So I am here with the infamous Captain Extraordinaire, Mr. Peter Merlot.
Thank you, and I'm smiling and laughing under this mask if you can't tell.
Well, you know, we could probably sit here and talk for hours if we wanted to, but we're just going to hit some of the highlights of the last couple of years of our, I'll call it friendship, partnership, adventure. I think we've been through a lot together.
Oh, most definitely. It's amazing how fast it's been and how much it's grown, and just to see the excitement and catch on, it's been fantastic. But you know, there's a part of me that still misses some moments during those 11 days when we were struggling, you know?
Mention how we know each other, and how long have we known each other, and why, and how.
Well, we actually met, I don't know, over 10 years ago, and it was through a pickup skate with the Media All-Stars. Saturday and Sunday mornings, I would come, play with yourself, and I remember Liam being a kid on the ice that I actually had to give room to. There was a time, and I want to remind him of that I had to give him space. So we just grew a friendship through playing hockey. And then all of a sudden, I hear a little bit of chitter-chatter, because the locker room talk is one of the best things ever, a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. But one serious note is you started mentioning this 11-day. And it first started in the locker room on Saturday and Sunday, and I started hearing it, and I think I approached you pretty early on and actually shared a story with you that I never shared with anybody that played hockey with me. Some people wouldn't even know, which is excellent. And I shared that story with you, how Roswell saved my life.
Yeah. Are you willing to share that story right now?
Of course. Back in 2006, I was diagnosed with a pielocystic astrocytoma, which is a benign, thank goodness, after going through a PET scan and analysis. brain tumor. However, it's a tumor that only exists in children. And basically Roswell said I should be either, at a child, you either remove that tumor or you die. I was basically a walking miracle. I went through a 9.5-hour surgery with Dr. Fenstermaker. Had a very long recovery just because they had to remove my cerebellum to get to the tumor, which is your balance center. So it's kind of like your balance gets rebooted. And you know my balance, how good it was even beforehand. So, you know, you learn how to kind of walk and do everything again. And they told me, they're like, listen, you'll be lucky if you're normal. You'll never play hockey. I was an avid basketball player. They said, you're never going to play those again. But at the time, you're not thinking about that. You just want to be alive. I had 2 young children. You know, I was very upsetting my wife. The stress that, you know, I don't have to tell you about that sort of stress.
Right.
Well, after a 9.5-hour surgery, I started the recovery. It was found to be benign. And then I went through actually what's called gamma knife radiation, which is another wonderful procedure at Roswell where they can actually radiate a piece of tissue inside where it does the damage until it gets in there. It's actually wonderful. It killed the remainder tumor.
Yep.
And, you know, about a year later after my recovery, Dr. Fenstermaker's one of his fellows at Roswell. And this was, to me, unheard of. He looked at me, he heard my wife and I talking about playing hockey. He said, you think you'll ever play hockey again? I gave him, what are you talking about, Willis moment? Like, come on, are you joking with me? I go, is this a possibility? He said, let me talk to Dr. Fenstermaker. He said, you know, he went through 8 months. My wife built an ice rink. I skated in the backyard. She was my observer. He basically gave me the okay to play hockey. And really, in this day and age of risk management, most people say never play again and cover themselves. So it was funny, Mike, I actually felt a little guilty at one point because I said to my friend, should I be this happy to be playing hockey again? I should just be this happy to be alive. He goes, that's your special gift.
Yeah.
So again, hopefully I didn't go on too much. I could go on a lot longer, but hopefully that carries it. So that's the story. And all of a sudden, 2015, end of 16, we started talking, and I'm like, and then when I confided that story in you, I think you knew right away, oh yeah, you have to be part of this. And that's been driving me ever since.
From that day, when we decided that you're going to be part of it, you were, you know, full on, totally committed. You trained hard. Fast forward to June of 2017, you and Drew Case, also cancer survivor, got to have the opening face-off.
Yeah, which was awesome.
Which was pretty cool. And one of you scored the last goal, did you not?
Yes, I did.
That's pretty cool. So
Now,
you got the last goal of the original game.
Which was actually for me, I never.
That was your only goal, right?
Well, no, someone actually made that comment because of the crowd reaction. I did get a few, but the reaction was great. It was an awesome moment. My family was there. It was just something I would never have an opportunity. It was a blessing to be able to give back to Roswell Park. I always want to know. I talked about giving back. I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to do this. I did the Rice for Roswell every year.
Yep.
This was something I'm like, this is it. And it's been a wonderful experience. And I benefited. I got to train like a professional athlete through Impact and Jason, going through that with you guys. Yep. And, you know, I actually continue that to this day. It really gave me a change of life in how I manage my body.
I was talking to another player, I think it was Justin Ehrig, and we were talking about some of the challenges, and one of the things that he said that resonates is the physical part, believe it or not, isn't the most difficult part. At some points, it's the psychological part. And he told me a pretty funny story. I'm going to ask you if it's true. He said that I heard the most deepest, loudest, strongest, primal scream from a human being from Pete Merlot about midway through the game. Do you remember that?
I do. I gave it a couple of those.
So that was, I mean, talk about it if you like, but I know the feeling because it was basically a release, right?
It was a release. In fact, there was moments when you talk about that, and I want to share a story with Justin because I love Justin. I love all the guys. But Justin helped me a lot. Day 4, I find myself crying on the ice. I'm tearing up. I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? These guys already think I'm messed up. I'm not going to tell them this. No, so I go in the locker room after the shift and I hear Justin sitting there. He goes, damn, And Justin shares. He goes, I've been sad lately or feeling depressed. I go, really? You too? And maybe we talked for about a half an hour, shared. It was something that we're all going through, was that day 3-4 syndrome. And it really helped me get through that.
Good.
And then those streams, by the way, it's like a shot of adrenaline. You're giving yourself, I'm releasing endorphins, adrenaline, so I actually felt good after I released a little bit.
Yeah. So fast forward, sadness is gone, celebration, we played the world's longest hockey game. That was pretty cool. And you and most of the other guys have been right along with us. Oh, yeah. So you captain the team, you're playing last bit here. Talk about what your team is made of and why it's special today.
Well, our team is made of a lot of players that have played in this community shift and also players we skate with. But the reason behind the team, and we have a lot of engineers in our team, is there's a gentleman named Ken Strell. And he was a big proponent, was a big sponsor of me in the 11 day. He came to see me play. He was excited. Well, Ken was a quiet guy. You didn't know he was battling cancer. And we found out after, we thought he beat it. And before I have a picture of me and him on my desk with the 18 community shift. 6 months after that, I had a work meeting with him. He passed away, cancer came back, we didn't know. So it really, Mike, it gives you new energy, it resonates. Cancer affects everybody, every which way. And there's been other people since then that I've known that have difficulties. So a guy like Ken, when you see that passion, and we had a son out there, he dropped the puck. He actually afterward hugged me like 10 times, kept thanking me just because he didn't know how. He thought, and then the event itself, when people come, I can't describe it. The energy, the atmosphere, it's awesome. And you and Amy are great. I told you guys I'd follow you anywhere.
Well, thank you. I consider you my brother. I love you, and I look forward to many more of these together.
Oh yeah, I always say hello to you on the ice. I don't always catch you, but I want you to know I'm near you. I won't say what I say to him on the camera.
Well, go have fun, and thank you for playing, and condolences to the Strell family.
Hey, thank you, and love you, brother.
Love you, brother.
You came all the way from Rochester to play in the event. Tell me a little bit about your team and your team name.
Well, we are Labella Associates, and we started playing last year with the City of Buffalo Water. They were our competition, and we both were playing with one person in mind, that being Ken Strell, who passed away from cancer a few years ago. And he really kind of sparked this idea 3 years ago that we should sponsor the event. And then obviously in his passing, we felt the desire to support that. and it's been, you know, a great thing to be a part of since then. So
a great way to remember Ken.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you play against Pete Merlot, one of the original 40s.
Yep.
Is there a rivalry between you two? Or are you
Well, we're quickly developing one. Last year we played for 3 hours, and with a minute to go, we were up by 2 goals, and they came storming back to tie it. 15-15 was the final score, which, you know, you think about, we're both playing for the same person. I think he wouldn't have had it any other way.
So this year was really difficult fundraising, you know, with the pandemic. How did your team fundraise as well as they did this year?
Well, you know, it's not as much as we wanted to raise last year, of course. But, you know, Lobella Associates, we have a group of people. It's called Link, Lobella in the Community. And they're very involved in local charities, both in Rochester and in Buffalo. We have an office here. And so it's, you know, they were able to contribute some money, but then also our players, you know, were able to fundraise some. And, you know, we hope to continue this and do even better next year.
So you as a hockey player, how long have you been playing hockey?
To be honest, not very long. I started playing 2 years ago in Rochester, a Never Ever program. You know, I grew up ice skating and just playing pond hockey, but never had the resources to play down in Corning, New York, you know, when I was growing up. And I just, you know, I heard about this program where you got coached. There were 4 coaches on the ice at all times, and I grabbed a group of guys and we all signed up, and we've been playing ever since. So even throughout the summer, and we absolutely love it. I feel like a kid all over again. It's fantastic.
Great. And as far as street hockey, did that matter to you guys this year coming out?
No, I mean, it's certainly not ice, and we'll see what my knees feel like at the end of this, running around on concrete. But you know, we're all for it. A few of us have played ball hockey, and some of us have played a lot more than others, but we'll have fun.
Great. Well, I don't want to keep you. Your team's waiting. Good luck tonight.
All right. Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Welcome to the set, Mike Szymanski. Hey, Mike.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing good.
So, Mike, you've been part of this event really since the community shift started, right? Yeah. So you played in the first community shift.
Yes.
Which is a 4-hour shift.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 years you've captained it. So now you've played, you've captained it, now you're captain of a ball hockey team. How do you feel about that?
It's fun. I think me and the guys are just glad to be out, being able to play some hockey. It's kind of been horrible, just kind of cooped up in the house with quarantine, not being able to do too much. So I think they're going to love this.
Oh, yeah. You guys, a lot of the teams are, you know, teams that play year-round or in the winter or whatever, and they haven't been able to play, as you know. Yeah. I'm the same way with my buds. So to come here, whether you're playing floor hockey, ball hockey, whatever it is, it's good to get the guys together, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's fun. It's like we'd never missed a beat, just hanging out in the locker room talk, as you know. So
no locker rooms this year.
Yeah.
Bummer. So dropping mitts against cancer, like who, like what type of guys are playing on your team? Are they like friends for life, like high school friends or neighbor? Like, who are the guys?
Yeah, most of them friends I just kind of came to know through playing hockey later on in life. This year I was actually able to get a few more guys, and actually lifelong friends. Kid I started playing hockey with when I was 10. So
awesome.
So I have a huge group guys I started playing with then, and now a guy I met a couple of years ago playing men's league. So
cool. Where did you grow up playing? Like, are you where are you from, and where did you play hockey as a kid?
So born and raised in Buffalo, grew up in Cheektowaga, played kind of all over. Started my career with the Saints, went to the Regals, North Buffalo for a year, and then finished back up with the Saints my last year, and then played high school and college at DUville.
Oh, cool. And you kind of know, like, you guys are you play in the Harbor Center League? Where do you play? Like, where's your ice hockey team play?
For the summer, we play at Harbor Center in the weekend league, and then during the winter, I'll play in the Holiday Leisure League.
Gotcha. So we're going to talk to Josh Lunz from the Queen City Snow.
Do you guys know each other?
We played each other a few times over the past few years, so.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a clean game, right?
Yes, it'll be clean. We already talked to him about that. Yeah, we've had a few heated battles with them over the years in the championship last year at Harbor Center. It's a good series. Went to 3 games. They got the best of us, but.
Is your team, or you or your team members, playing for anyone in particular? Or?
Not that I know of. Me in particular, I'm playing for my aunt and my dad, who passed away from pancreatic cancer when I was a sophomore in high school, I believe.
We're gonna have to get you a purple jersey then.
I'd love
for
that.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to trade, we can easily do that.
Okay.
Purple's for pancreatic cancer. So, we're not sure of everybody's background and who they're playing for, but because this year we've got so many jerseys, we'll do our best to get you a color that means the most to you.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I love the jersey setup this year. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your team excited?
Yeah. Yeah.
We weren't quite sure. I mean, here we threw ball hockey at you, and then we're throwing different colored jerseys at you.
Yeah, I love it.
We like to change it up.
Yeah.
Well, we'll let you get to your buds and warm up. See how your ball hockey skills are. I'll be doing a little play-by-play. So I'll be watching, and you can check this out later tonight or tomorrow, and go out there and have fun. And look forward to seeing you next year on the ice.
Will do. Thank you.
All right. Great to see you, Michael.
You too.
Thanks, Mike. So Bob and Heather Henry, I know they're watching because they've been helping us. I
don't think
home.
I've seen a shoe compliment yet.
Oh, Heather likes my shoes.
No, my shoes.
Oh, Mike's shoes. Anyway, they both work at Clever Method. They're actually a married couple and so helpful to the 11-day power play. They've given us so much of their time, and we want to introduce you to Bob and Heather.
The first time we ever met Mike and Amy was to talk about this event, and after that meeting, we went to Doug, one of the partners at Clever Method, and he bought in too.
Crowley Webb did the actual branding and logo design. So then we had a logo and a name and needed a website. And for that it was tough because we were trying to represent an event that hadn't happened yet, so there wasn't a lot of photography. So internally we thought and came up with this concept of doing these watercolor illustrations that kind of represented the grittiness of like the fight, both in hockey and fighting cancer, as a way to bring some visual interest to the site. And the goal was it needed to allow for registrations for players, for volunteers. So really our first primary effort was get them a web presence because they could do not much else without that. So that was where we started. And then we continue to support the digital efforts, posting news content, helping with programs and other visual pieces, and just trying to be there more behind the scenes, but just to support the effort as much as we can.
And a key too is making it, making them into a legitimate brand. With any new project, when you're not just trying to put on this ambitious event, you also have to build a brand presence that people buy into. And I think that we're collaborating with Crowley Webb. They did a fantastic job with the branding, and that enabled us to kind of bring the website to life. And overall, it really created this presence for the brand that has now been established and iterated on through the different types of events as it's moved from just a world's longest hockey game into something that's more involving of the whole community at large.
The community continues to be invested in it every year. Their passion doesn't wane, it just gets stronger, it seems like, every year, and so does the community's, and that's been just really rewarding to see.
It inspires us to continue to try and create great content and get new ways to have people engaged in the event, to have those kind of experiences that can start to become shared over a period of time between many groups of people. It not only helps the event grow, but it strengthens its meaning and expands its mission to more and more people. We've had struggles with cancer in our families, and personally I lost 2 grandparents and a close friend.
My grandfather was a cancer researcher at Roswell Park. He was a chemist, he was a goofball, but he was really passionate about cancer research. He's passed away 5 or 6 years ago now, but just another personal connection I have to Roswell, and kind of feel like being able to support 11-Day in the way that I am sort of carries on the legacy my grandfather had. The very first year that 11-Day was running, I actually had to go get tested for cancer and got the results that I didn't have it the first day of the event. So it was just, I was the same age as Amy, was when she was diagnosed, it was breast cancer, it was just we both had 2 little kids at the same time. So I think for me, I was, both overwhelmed, but then also very thankful, and just made me appreciate everything Amy went through even more, just kind of having to go through a similar experience myself at, sort of a weird serendipitous time.
Being able to work on this project with my wife, with an organization that we care about, for a cause we care about, it's been incredibly rewarding, and I think one of the most so in my career professionally.
I just appreciate having a way to give back. I never knew necessarily where my career would take me, and it's been really rewarding to be involved in something that has such a huge impact.
I look forward to seeing what we can do to help them take it further and have even more success this year.
We forgot you were a model.
Yeah, I forgot.
He did modeling for the 11A Power Play as well.
I was a jersey model.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a thing that I normally do.
That's how much you support this cause.
Yeah, I'll do interviews, model, build websites, whatever it takes to help.
Thank you, Bob and Heather. We know you're watching. Great job on that interview, by the way.
Always complimenting on YouTube. You guys are the best.
So we have a guest with us, Joshua Lunz.
Hi.
First time captain.
Yes, ma'am.
Excited for you because you earned an 11-day Power Play jersey.
Yes, I'm very excited as well. I know a bunch of the guys are excited. It was a little weird this year with all the stuff going on with Corona and all of that, but we're really excited. I'm glad we were able to have enough guys to come out and actually have a team that we could play too, because it's a great event, a great cause too.
Yeah, move your mic a little closer.
So I have a bone to pick because you tried to get on Nick Carl's team, right?
Nick Carl?
Whose team were you trying to get on last year and you couldn't get on?
Oh, Nick Lampman. Nick Lampman.
Yeah. Oh, Nick Lampman.
Yeah.
Lamper. I'm gonna have to have a talk with Lamper because you're trying to get on a team and he says the roster was full. So instead of getting on a team, you chose to take one on yourself. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Got the power player captain. Awesome. Good to see you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
So tell us why you wanted to play this year.
Well, I've had a couple family members. One of my family members was diagnosed with, I don't know what stage of breast cancer, but she actually just had a mastectomy at Roswell. I've been at Roswell for about 1.5 years now. And just working in the OR, seeing these patients, seeing the kids, that it's heartbreaking to see everybody, but especially the kids that they think nothing of it, and just seeing that just made me really want to raise money, raise awareness, and do everything I could because I love where I work and I love what it does for people.
So you work at Roswell.
Yep.
In the OR. What do you do? What do you do there?
I currently worked in environmental services there. I actually just got a new job. I'm working in endo now, right across from the OR. So I'm just reprocessing, scopes like EGDs and stuff like that now. But I was over there, making sure all the rooms were clean, everything was ready for, the next case that would come in.
That's awesome. Moving up already.
Yes. So I'm very excited about that as well.
And
so,
I was going to say the Queen City Snow Kings. That's the name of your team.
Yep.
What's the composition of the team? Is it friends, family? Like, who plays?
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of the guys that we grew up with throughout high school. Just a whole bunch of close-knit group of friends that we've had for pretty much forever. So we decided to make the team. Actually, Cameron and Nick made up the team name because that was what we played with first at Harbor Center. And then it's actually funny because the guys were playing, we actually faced in a championship during summer. So it was funny when I seen the captain, I was like, we've definitely played these guys before. So it's definitely.
I've already had a talk with Mike Szymanski, and he said you guys have had some heated games.
Oh,
so
yeah.
This is a charity game.
Oh, yeah. I already talked to all the guys. I said, hey, please don't make a fool out of me.
You don't want Amy and Mike running out.
Yeah, I don't want that at all. But yeah, we definitely had a couple heated games. Not it happens sometimes.
I know. I play senior league hockey. I know how it goes.
I told him, I said, if anybody does anything today, you're hearing it from me right off the rip. I was like, I'm not going to have none of the nonsense today.
So you earned that power player jersey, and this has been a tough year of fundraising. How did you do so well?
So I have to give a lot of credit to my family and friends and a lot of the people at Roswell too. They all supported me. A lot of people didn't know about it at first, which I was actually surprised because I actually seen you guys interview Dr. Yenda Murray, who I work with as well. And I was just looking, and I was telling people about it. Nobody really knew, and I was like, how do you guys not know? I think it's a huge event, but maybe that's just because I'm interested in it. But almost the whole OR knows about it now. They helped me out a lot of Super Bowl polls, which helped out a lot.
Awesome.
Super Bowl squares.
Cool.
I wanted to raise more, but it kind of during the end it started to. I felt I was asking, but I felt bad because I didn't know who was unemployed, who wasn't. So
it's a tough year.
Yeah.
Well, you did great. You did great. These guys are off to a quick start as it is. We want to thank you for playing. We want to thank you for being a captain, and we look forward to years to come and hopefully being on the ice.
Yes. No, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for this. It's a great event, great cause, and I appreciate all you guys do because I know you guys work effort. I can't say that word. You guys know what I'm trying to say. A little nervous, but you guys work so hard. And
you know this because of all the Zoom meetings we've had all year.
Yes.
Not knowing exactly where we were going, all the pivots, and thank you for sticking by us.
And the iPhone guy always in those Zoom meetings was me. I didn't know you could change your name because I would always hear every time, somebody's named iPhone. And I was like, that's me every time because I didn't know how to change.
We knew it was
name.
you because you had your mask on. We knew you were at Roswell. You always got your PPP on.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Have fun out there tonight.
Oh, we will. We will. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So we're going to check out the game that's got, it's already 1-1. Joshua, you better get out there.
All right. Thanks, man. Who I went to college with, and just an all-around great guy. Him and his wife graciously sponsored. They sponsored the first year, and they've sponsored several years since. In Costanzo's, we had a great. During COVID there was some. We didn't stop helping out, and one of the cool things that happened is we were approached by a few companies. Costanzo was one of them. Rosina, who makes meatballs, was the other, and both. But Rosina and Costanzo, we put together. They got together, and we picked up food from them and delivered it to the frontline staff at Roswell, which is cool. And then also Picasso's Pizza did the same thing. They got in and delivered a bunch. They provided them, and we delivered a bunch of pizzas again to the frontline staff at Roswell during quarantine time, which is very rewarding.
And here we are. We never thought we'd be able to have anything this year. We're so happy to be able to do something, and these players have been with us, stuck by us. The ones that couldn't be here, we understand. It was date changes and back to college and back to working for some people that couldn't make it. But 60% participation this year, and we're really happy with that.
Just a few minutes in here, it's 2-1. These guys are it's a younger crew. They're going pretty good. Looks like they're playing a standard 5-on-5 game. Nice pass by Szymanski. Lunz is out there too. Oh, got a 2-on-1 forming here. Shoots it wide. It's funny, some guys choose to use gloves, some don't. I've done both. I think I prefer the gloves. Mostly because my fingers got chopped. I see you, Craig Curtin. Player with the puck has the coolest black and white sneakers on, and they match his jersey so well. It's like he planned it. Team White putting on the pressure here. He's out of here. This guy's out of here. Get him out.
Was that on camera?
I'm doing play-by-play. Look, I have cat-like reflexes. I almost got hit with the ball, about one inch away from my nose. I'm already missing a tooth. Last year, if anybody recalls, I know Amy does, I got hit square in the face with a puck while I was sitting on the bench. And our good buddy Dr. Butch sewed me up, got me back in the play. I'll tell a good story while we're watching here. When we were doing our original event, I got asked to throw out the first pitch at the Bison's game, where the Buffalo Blue Jays now play, and there was the game going on. There was a bunch of us, maybe 20 of us from the original crew, with our wives and girlfriends and such. And there was we were sitting pretty much behind home plate, and there was a foul ball that came zipping up, and I happened to be sitting in the aisle seat, and right behind me was Amy and a couple others, and kind of out of nowhere, I grabbed this ball that was going just an absolute zip line drive, and I snagged it with one hand and caught it. Bruised my hand, but it was one of my finer moments. It saved my wife's life.
Harbor Center. The other guy.
Yes.
I forgot his name.
Yes. I see a couple of my friends from Harbor Center out there.
They can't hear me, by the way, so I'm just chatting.
Oh, Nick Lampman. Nice shot. Nice save. Oh, Lampman. Nice save. 3-on-1. Szymanski. No, that's not Szymanski. Yeah, it is. Oh, nice pass. Oh! I was about to say overskated the puck. Overran the ball. They're a spirited bunch. We got we're about 10 minutes into this first half. 2-1 game. Lampman's been firing the shots at the goal. Szymanski still out there. Oh, he's going to get a free shot. Off the post and in. Mike Szymanski, what a blast. Ties it up at 2. After he almost took my head off. We are going to be, in a few minutes, talking to Nate Lawson. And if you're a player in this event or a volunteer, there is no way you're not familiar with Nate Lawson. He helps us, particularly Amy and Sarah, on an everyday basis with registrations and pretty much everything we need to make this event happen. And he does it with a smile. and we're very grateful for it. It's a little segment we call Thin Man Brewery After Hours. Last night we had Pat Coletta and Matty Ilia. That was fun. We've had, who else have we had out here? We've had Mike Pekka. We've had Mike Schatzel, Thin Man Brewery. We've had Bull from 97 Rock. We've had Jixter from 97 Rock. We've had our good friend Al Davis from WGR 550. Mike on the mic.
Nate at 11daypowerplay.com.
That's how I introduce myself to everybody. I'm like, hey, I'm the guy that's been emailing you for the past year.
So Nate, you've been with us for a year.
Yeah.
Is it just over a year?
Just under.
Just under a year.
But he's been with us before that.
If you include last year of volunteering and doing all that stuff.
Yeah. So you're our one and only employee who helps us out. I think you shared such a passion for what we do. Tell us why you wanted to help the 11-day power play.
So I volunteered when I was at Roswell for a little bit, and I met you guys, and there's something about you that pulls people in. The attitude you have and your drive, it's incredible, and getting to meet you guys and being a part of sports and different things like that. I grew up playing sports. I grew up doing events with my dad. I had that same passion that you guys have, and it made everything that much better to meet you guys and talk to you guys, and the people that you meet here, it's fantastic.
So let's be honest. Your first year with the 11-day.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
We've pivoted a bunch of times, and with all that pivoting, you've had to really.
I've heard pivot too many times, I must say.
But like just the amount of traction. I mean, we had 2,300 players register.
Yeah.
We expected 2,600.
Yeah.
And the amount of questions, and not everybody reads their emails, and that. How was that all? It
was great. The new fundraising system that we instilled this year, it helped out a lot, especially from the stories that you said of last year of like ours was so archaic, and then we moved on to this. It made it that much easier. And then that interaction, I enjoyed it, of people emailing me and people calling me and asking me questions. I get Bill Chef Lucas, who texts me every other day, and he's like, you would think I would know this by now of what I need to do, but he'll ask me questions, and like meeting those people and talking to them, it makes it fun.
Was he saying make sure my page is higher than Lesikowski's? Was he saying that?
It was always a lot of like, somebody accidentally donated to KCT team page. Can you fix this? And I'm just like, it's like, all right. But no, it's great. Like, I like interacting with everybody that we have, talking to volunteers, doing scheduling. I did most of the calls for the volunteer scheduling, and talking to them and hearing their passion and seeing why they wanted to be involved. It made it makes it that much better. You get to meet the people, and this is just like a giant family. Like the original 40 took me in. Everybody, they come in, they're like, "Hey Nate, how you doing? What's up?" Like, I feel like I'm part of the family at this point.
I still remember we were closing out last year, and there's a couple of you that helped us a lot, moving in, moving out, and we went to Anderson's.
Yes.
Remember this?
Yes.
So we went to Anderson's, had a roast beef sandwich, probably a milkshake, and I just remember you were very sincere, and you said, if there's any way I can be part of this event going forward, I'd really love to.
Yeah.
And when we knew that it was progressing even more, we've been getting traction and increasing in number of participants and stuff, and we talked about having another person, and it was a no-brainer to bring you on. I still remember that day at Anderson's.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We talked a lot of hockey, a lot about like your son Liam, who's gigantic at this point. And I see pictures from like 2 years ago, and the kid was like 5'2", and he's 6'4" now. Like it's crazy. It's you guys. Like I said, you guys make this what it is. The pivots, all that kind of stuff. The way your drive of just being like, Nate, we're doing this today. All right, just jump on board. I love doing it, and it's so much fun for me to be involved.
I think we're going to have to buy Nate a new pair of sneakers after this week, because when you
You've been
see him,
running a lot.
he's rarely ever walking. He's almost always running.
So Nate, let's talk about what you're doing for this event. Okay, you're like the jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Prior to you coming, it was me and Sarah.
Yeah.
I was doing social media. I was responding to all the emails. Now we have you who helps with all of that. So
I don't know how you did that before. Like, so I do most of the social media stuff. I help. I work with the volunteers. Like I said, getting to talk to them, that's the best part. They're all great. They're all like the leads from last year and stuff. And having such a skeleton crew, like having them know exactly what they're doing every time that they come out here, it helps me so much. They're right on it. They'll do things before I even think to do them, and that's just that much more helpful. And then I'm in charge of music sometimes, getting Justin Yerg's playlist up there. He did a great job of it. And the intros.
For every team.
That is, yeah. So look up all their fundraising totals, the power players, all that kind of stuff.
Explain the rules.
When it's time to eat.
Yes. And then when it's time to eat, I'll jump on DoorDash, call something up for you guys, wait for the guy in the parking lot, grab him, bring it back. I remember walking to the trailer the one day, and Mike's laying down on the couch just texting, and I brought the rundown for your day, and I bring it to Mike, and I go, this is what movie stars feel like, right? And he goes, I could get used to this.
Wow, you're amazing. One thing that people don't know is something that you and I have in common.
What's that?
You know what I'm going to talk about. We were both soccer goalies.
Oh, yes. You got to be a little off to be a soccer goalie, is what they always said. But
we found that out after like 2 days into your job. We were kind of chatting, and I don't play hockey, you don't play hockey, but we realized that we were both soccer goalies, which is not an easy. Our nets are so much bigger than these little dinky things.
Yeah, I think about how much fun it would be out there. I'm like, I could just go like this. I blocked the entire net. But yeah, it's my dad played hockey when he was younger, so my dad played like everything. He played football, basketball, hockey, all that stuff. And then somehow me and my sister both ended up only playing soccer. So he learned how to play soccer, or how like soccer, all that kind of stuff. And he would follow us around every event. He put 10,000 miles on his car one month alone, because me and my sister were both playing college soccer all across New York State. So he drove from each place to each game and all the away games. So I'm sure you're used to that.
Of course, because he's your dad, and you didn't want to miss a thing, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And your sister holds records at Brockport, right?
She was. I always say it. She was a lot better than I was at soccer. She was a midi. She had the vision, a lot of assists. I think
she's a coach for a boys team.
Yeah, me and her. She's the boys varsity soccer coach at Pioneer. I'm her assistant. I'm her goalie coach. She game plans everything. I'm basically just there to whip the boys into shape if they don't do anything. It's my motto is what my old coach told us is, he goes, well, you might not be the best team, but you'll be the most in shape team. Go on a run, guys. I'm just like, oh man. So my goalie coach in college, the first day I met him, he goes, did you bring your running shoes? I was like, yeah. He goes, all right, catch me, and just took off running. We went on like a 2-mile run that day. I was just like, I played goalie for a reason. It's because I didn't want to run.
So Nate, let's talk about the merchandise.
Yeah. So this beautiful jacket I have on. We have a lot of great stuff. You guys do a great job of picking out like really nice products. Yours is like, it's not a huge variety, but it is quality every time. You get Adidas, these nice golf polos, these hats. They're all fantastic.
Shout out to New Era.
Yeah, shout out to New Era. These are fantastic hats. I know everybody loves them. The jerseys that everybody has, Ad Pro, they did a great job. I've heard from everybody that they're just like, wow, we like these. Let's do them again another year. And just the meaning behind them, I think it makes it that much more special. I know we were worried a little bit at the beginning about if somebody would want a different jersey, but they get the meaning of it, and that's the important part. They get that, like, all cancers matter, all that kind of stuff, and that's why we have the lavender. That's why we have all of that. So it means a lot to see that they actually understand that.
Yep. And we'll have, after we close out our event, we'll have some jerseys left over, and we'll put that out on social media, as you will. And I'm sure that if folks have a particular cancer that they're supporting or somebody they're supporting with a particular battle,
contact you.
Yeah,
then
definitely.
contact Nate at 11daypowerplay.com.
It's pretty easy.
So prior to Nate, I was doing the merchandise.
Like I said, I don't know how you did all of that from the beginning. Like,
well, it's been
more credit to you.
It's been 3 years.
Yeah.
This is our 4th year, and having you has been a blessing. And we're friends, and I am your boss, but I'm kind of your mom too, right?
You're my work mom, definitely.
When you have any,
It's just me and you in the office all day. It's great. Sarah's in there every once in a while, but it's just pretty much me and you just working through everything,
and
doing all that kind of
COVID
stuff.
when we didn't see each
Oh
other.
my God, I know. That was tough.
It was so tough. It was like we had that one last day in the office, and then we realized we couldn't come back.
I know. We thought it was going to be 2 weeks. You're like, all right, I'll see you in like a couple weeks. We'll be right back. I'm sure everybody felt that way. But it's so much easier to like run something by you or like do that when we're right next to each other.
Yeah.
So
But
it's nice.
we hung in there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so last question. You must have a favorite moment. You've been with us a couple of years now. Favorite moment? Anything that sticks out?
So there's a couple. So getting the Thin Man beer was awesome. Going to Thin Man, seeing him pour it all in, watching Petey pour in the Thin Man beer, that was cool. That was a cool day of just like all of it coming together. And then every time we meet with Crowley Webb, they have incredible ideas, and it's awesome. They come in with all these ideas, and they're so pumped about it, and they show it to us, and learning about Hockey Inferno and all that kind of stuff. That's fun stuff. But I think the best thing that I've had is being here during the event, like all of it culminating, all of it coming together, and then talking to the people as they come in. There's like 5 times a day that I just get chills from the stories that people tell me, like about I'm playing for my mom, I'm playing for my son, I'm playing for my brother, like all of those different things. Those are what this is all about. That's what this event's about, is these people coming here and having a way of connecting and playing with your team and doing all those kind of things. Those moments are what mean a lot.
So tell us about PD Power Play, because you guys are best
Oh
buds.
my God. I could barely keep him off the ropes course for a while there. He was running around doing all that. He just looks at it every day, and he's somewhere around here, but
I mean, he sleeps a lot,
oh
but
my
when he
God,
comes
I know.
out, it's like he's all into the game. He was playing goalie the
I
other
know.
day.
Said it was his first
For the
time
Mighty
out there. It was
Pucks.
great. Yeah, he was doing
He's
well.
like, I'm gonna go
The kids
play.
seemed to enjoy it. They wanted him out there.
I
More
think
power
he has
to
a
him.
crush on one of the Mighty Pucks
yeah.
girls or something. I don't know.
So you've done an ice hockey event at Harbor Center, and now the ball hockey event at Riverworks. What do you think of this place?
This place is awesome. The staff here is incredible. They're so accommodating, and they'll just come up to us all the time and be like, anything that you need, let us know. But it's great to have Riverworks right next door. They have great food. They have the 11-day power pills for us.
They do.
Like, yeah, so
You haven't tried that
Thin
yet,
Man?
though, have you?
It was good. I enjoy it.
We don't ever drink that,
No,
right?
never. But yeah, no, they're fantastic. And then you say I've done those types of things. I did golf events before I met you guys. I've run soccer camps. All these sports are just a lot of fun to be a part of.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
we were talking about Riverworks, and I think you had a conversation with Bill today.
Yep, exactly. So it's a good transition, because earlier today I got a chance to talk to Bill Cassell, who's the GM of Pearl Street Properties, which includes Riverworks and several others. But Bill's a great guy. Riverworks is a great venue, and check out what they're all about.
Thanks,
I'm here with Bill
Thanks, Nate.
Cassell. Bill is the general manager of Riverworks and all of the Pearl Street properties, and there are several. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Well, this is unique in that Riverworks, first of all, is an awesome venue. You guys have been gracious hosts. And fortuitously, we couldn't play ice hockey, and you happen to have rinks without ice. So it worked out well for both of us.
Absolutely. We're obviously happy to have you. We're ecstatic that we were able to have some type of event this year. Obviously, this is a great one to host as well. So I think it's good for the whole community. It's good for Riverworks. It's good for everybody to see that there is something happening other than just normal restaurant business in Buffalo.
And Riverworks is one facility in a family of several, right? You
Yes.
want to talk about maybe the other facilities and
Sure.
the relationship?
1997, we opened Pearl Street Grill and Brewery. We just celebrated our 23rd year there at Pearl Street. We migrated next door to Pearl Street at the Lawson Pearl as a hotel and banquet facility in 2014. Slightly thereafter, we partnered with Rocco Termini at the Lafayette Hotel. We run the tap room and the hotel there. And then shortly after that, 2015, we started out with just a couple hockey rinks here to support the Labatt Blue Pond Hockey Tournament. And then we grew into this massive event center here at Riverworks, and it keeps evolving and growing.
Yeah. So I play when I'm around. I play in the Labatt the Pond Hockey Tournament, and what's amazing about Riverworks is every time you come here, something else is new and cool. Because the first time I ever came here, the rinks didn't exist. Labatt decided to go from the natural water ice to here because it was too erratic in terms of weather. And all this was an open area. There was a bunch of hay bales and curtains.
Yep.
And I walked inside, and I literally said to myself, these guys must be nuts. But the vision since then is incredible because, well, I'll let you talk about it. Since you started, I can say 10 things, but talk about the stuff that goes on here besides hockey.
Sure. I think we knew really quick in the game that we had to be more than a one-season destination as a waterfront destination. So it started with just 2 hockey rinks. We didn't know where it was going to go from there. We landed the roller derby, Queen City Roller Girls, inside for our indoor events there. And then we noticed how cool the whole property was with the dilapidated silos. And when we took all those down, we noticed how cool that looked, and we envisioned a beer garden there. So it evolved, like you said, over the years. We went from just 2 outdoor hockey rinks without refrigeration and a warehouse with heaters blowing flames out of them to heat the place that first year.
I remember.
So every year we progressed and got better. We turned into a concert venue. We're able to host lots of charity events here, concerts, expos, galas, weddings. So it's a over 100,000 square foot facility indoor and out, and it has a capacity of over 12,000 people combined indoor and out. So we've added an adventure component with the ropes course. The
PD Power Play was up there.
Yes, absolutely. We saw the mascots timing each other and competing. That was cool. We have the zip lines and rock climbing. We're adding a kids park next year. We're adding a Ferris wheel next year.
That is cool.
Yes.
I don't know, is that public knowledge now?
It is public knowledge. We announced it about a week ago. So there's going to be a 110-foot Ferris wheel right here on the wharf next year, starting erecting it next March. We hope to have it completed by next May.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And when we held out, quite frankly, we wanted to play ice hockey.
Absolutely.
And our event's a summer event. And when we couldn't, I called Sean Green and we met yourself. And immediately I could tell, we started throwing ideas around immediately. And that's exactly how you guys are. You have the same mentality as us. Don't tell us no.
Right.
Figure out a way to do it.
Right.
And it was everything from, okay, where's the entrances? Where's the exits? How do we implement our COVID plan? All that stuff. And you guys, right from the get-go, were right on right in the same mindset as us. And I really appreciate that. I know Amy does because we don't like to take no for an answer.
Sure.
We want to make things happen.
Right.
We're here.
Right.
And most of the events that you had planned couldn't happen, and we found a way to make it work within the rules.
Yeah, I got to credit you guys for making that happen. This is one of the only major events to happen in Western New York this year. So that's a credit to the preparation you guys did. So we got to give you guys that credit as well. Sean and I and our team here are great working with people. Our goal is to make sure before they leave after their event that they're already rebooking for next year. We want them to know that we're here to work with them. We've always been hands-on from start to finish and accommodating. That's what we're all about. We're here to build relationships and continue throughout the future and helping Western New York. And we do help and work with a lot of charity events, and that's important to us. We have a great ownership group that keeps reinvesting in downtown Buffalo, creating opportunities, creating jobs, and that's what Buffalo needs more of, in my opinion.
Right, and we like to think of our event as a Buffalo-centric community event. Riverworks is defined by, it's a Buffalo place. You don't find these places elsewhere.
Yep.
So to have it here shifting gears from where we were to here. It's been a seamless transition, and we couldn't thank you enough.
That's awesome.
Thank you, thanks Sean, and thanks to your whole staff, because everybody's been great.
That's great. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So a couple of weeks ago, I was able to meet with Dr. Hernandez from Roswell Park to talk about lymphoma, and he had a lot to share. Dr. Hernandez, thank you so much for coming today and spending time with us. Could you start by maybe introducing yourself and telling me where you are from and why you do what you do?
My name is Francisco Hernandez. I'm actually originally from Mexico. I moved to the United States here in 1996. So I came to Buffalo to do my internal medicine residency training and then my fellowship at Roswell Park Cancer Institute. And I graduated from my training in 2002, and since then I have been at Roswell Park Cancer Institute. I primarily focus on taking care of patients who they have cancer of the immune system, primarily different type of lymphomas. I do what I do because I really like what I do. I enjoy taking care of patients. I enjoy helping them when they're very sick. Trying to get them through very difficult times. At the same time, one of the reasons that I came to Roswell Park Cancer Institute is to try to contribute in different ways to try to fight cancer. So I do have a laboratory in which we're trying to understand why some patients who they have lymphomas do not respond to treatments. We try to figure out what is special in those cancer cells that they outsmart the current available treatments, and see if we can somehow target them with either current available drugs or to try to develop new ways to kill those resistant cancer cells. The work that I do really requires a lot of help, so it's not only a one person's job. In reality, it takes a very large and very actually enthusiastic team of not only doctors or scientists, but also laboratory technicians, students, nurses, etc., pharmacists. And they all help us towards achieving kind of our goals, which is really trying to, at the end of the day, cure more patients with lymphomas. So,
what is lymphoma exactly?
So lymphoma, as I tell patients, when I meet them the first time, is that it's a very generic term that we use to describe any type of cancer that arises within the immune system. So in a very plain term, a lymphoma is a cancer of the immune system. But our immune system is really a very complex group of organs that together they kind of keep us healthy and they keep us safe from either infections or from environmental toxins that we expose in our day-to-day living. So the immune system is primarily formed by organs that include like the skin, the liver, the spleen, the gut, the blood, what we call the bone marrow, and the lymphoid glands. And the lymphoid glands are kind of these very small little kind of like a oval shape balls that we have. This kind of spread through our bodies. The ones that we're more familiar with them are the tonsils, because now these lymph nodes are connected by channels through your entire body, and they're in a constantly synchrony, kind of filtering your blood or your tissues to kind of protect them from infections. And what happens is that as we go on living, because we get exposed to sometimes chemicals like pesticides or Agent Orange in the old days, radiation, viruses, bacteria, the cells that they live in all these organs can mutate. And when that happens, depending on the mutation and the cells that mutates, is the type of lymphoma that the patient may develop. So going back to what is lymphoma, in reality, lymphoma is not only one disease, but at least we recognize at least 85 different forms of lymphomas. And each kind of lymphoma has a different kind of behavior. It has a different kind of way to develop within a patient. And as a result of that, they do require different kind of treatments and evaluations. So when a patient is diagnosed with lymphoma, it is very important for the patient and the doctor taking care of the patient to know specifically what type of lymphoma they have, so the treatment can be somehow tailored towards fighting that particular, cancer. So,
someone who is coming, has lymphoma, how would they feel? What would their symptoms be?
Well, again, symptoms are they vary a lot. It also depends on how fast the lymphoma is growing inside the patient and what type of lymphoma they have. There are patients that when they're diagnosed with an aggressive lymphoma, they normally come with symptoms, primarily enlarging lymph node glands, so they feel bumps under their armpits, in their neck, in the groins. Sometimes those kind of bumps produce pain. Sometimes they can produce swelling in areas around where the bumps are, like if they have like a tumor in the groin, they may have leg swelling, so that could be a presenting symptom. Sometimes they also present with other what we call constitutional symptoms, feeling sick, having fevers, nice sweats, losing weight, or having itching, Sometimes the symptoms may be related of how these kind of enlarged lymph nodes are obstructing other organs. Like, for example, if lymph nodes are blocking the airway, people can present with coughing, difficulty breathing, kind of having changes in their voice, etc., In the other spectrum of kind of the clinical presentations are basically very subtle symptoms or no symptoms when you have a patient that has a slow-growing lymphoma. So when we look at patients who they have this slow-growing lymphoma variants, sometimes those patients have no symptoms. They go to see a doctor or they have a testing like a mammogram, and all of a sudden they found an enlarged lymph node in the mammogram, or they have a CAT scan because they were having a kidney stone and the CAT scan shows something there, So certainly the way that patients with lymphoma present to see the doctors is kind of varies a lot, So there are people who have no symptoms and people who can be very sick very quickly, So it does take a lot of kind of clinical suspicion when you have a general practitioner or an internist looking at patients who they come and talk to doctors, Sometimes it takes time to recognize the disease itself,
So you're involved here with research at Roswell Park. Can you tell us how important donations to the hospital are for research projects that you're working on here?
So no, thanks for the question. So I think certainly philanthropy is a very important part of research. I do know that a lot of the work that we do in the laboratory requires funding. It's not only for support the personnel who's doing the work, but also to pay for supplies, to pay for collaborations and exchanging material between academic institutions. A lot of the financing that goes into research come from grant agencies, but of course, sometimes it's not enough to because the current pandemic situation that we are facing. There is less and less funding available to kind of support the work that scientists are doing, And I certainly now more than ever we do actually need philanthropical support. I think certainly donations are very important, because it kind of allows to maintain or work in the laboratory that at the end of the day is aimed to kind of help patients and try to, as I said before, cure more patients, And certainly we're very thankful of any kind of charity organization that actually can help support any of the projects here at the Institute. So,
in the work that you do, what are you most hopeful for?
Again, I don't want to sound corny, but I would like to cure more patients. I would like to have less kind of what we call end-of-life discussions with patients. While sometimes we have to do it, they're very important to address them. There's a lot of kind of joy in our work when we can see patients who are very sick, that we can help them fighting their cancer, that they actually can complete their treatments, achieve what we call a remission, and stay free of cancer for many years or forever, And for us, that gives us a lot of satisfaction. And the fact that the work that we're doing in the laboratory is helping to contribute little by little to kind of increase the number of patients who can live without cancer. I think that's very rewarding, I think it's also kind of humbles a lot because, while we think that we know everything, sometimes patients and their diseases teach us that, no, we need to do more work, And I think that's what is kind of a very dynamic process. It does make me better as a physician who sees patients to do research in the laboratory, because the work that I do in the laboratory has a kind of a focus to help more patients. So there's a direct we can see the benefit that or work in the laboratory is doing in the patients, but at the same time, we see what the patients are going through. We see what is important for them in terms of, okay, what kind of treatments I need now. So we take a lot of questions that as doctors seeing patients, we kind of formulate, and we try to answer those questions in the laboratory, and then we take what we learn from there back to the clinic.
So recently, Roswell Park was just ranked number 14 in the entire country for cancer care. How does that make you feel?
Well, one, I feel very proud. Again, I have been here for counting my trainings, for 24 years. So I know how the Institute has gone through the process of improving and not resting in their laurels, try to get better and continue to be at the edge of, cancer research, but at the same time to provide the best care. So one of the reasons that we were kind of named one of the best hospitals is not only the research, but really how we are taking care of patients, So to me, that made me feel very proud, I think it's also is kind of a validation of the work that everyone is doing here, from the janitors, the secretaries, the pharmacists, the nurses, the doctors, So I think that certainly, it's a very kind of a rewarding feeling. But at the same time, it kind of raised the bar that, okay, we are 14 now, well, can we move up a little bit more? And can we maintain at least what we are doing? So it's certainly gives you a lot of satisfaction, but at the same time, it kind of make you kind of like stress you to be better.
So each year, there's hockey players and there's volunteers and the community rallies around the 11-day power play players. Is there a message that you would have for them today?
Yeah. Well, one is thanks for what they do because it's very important. Two, please continue to do it safely in these times, Three, have fun because it looks like a very fun activity. So if you actually can enjoy what you are doing, but at the same time do it for a good cause, I think that's actually a quite, nice combination. So, and I wish I can play hockey, but I'm really bad. So.
Well, you can always come and share.
Yeah,
Not this year. This year we're going to be no spectators this year, but next summer, hopefully we'll be out on the ice and you can come and watch. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you for what you do. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are here with co-captain of Dropping the Mitts Against Cancer, Michael Capizzi. Michael, how's it going out there, brother?
So far so good. We're up 1 after the first. Pretty good battle out there. Good competitive team. But I like our chances. I like the way we're working. I like the way we're getting the pucks to the net and pucks down low.
Yeah, I heard you guys went through a pretty good battle with these guys in the Harbor Center League. How'd that go?
Right now we're 1-1 with them. Won the first year. That was awesome. But you got to take your ups with your downs. Last year they definitely fed us our medicine. We were excited this year to get after it again and break the tie, but looks like we're going to have to wait till 2021.
So you guys are up by a goal here. You got a whole 40 minutes left here. What do you got to do to get the W in this one?
Just keep doing what we're doing, win the battles down low, get pucks to the net, get busy sticks, work on the power play, get the penalty kill going, play solid defense, and we got the brick wall, Chris Powers and net back there, so, as long as he keeps doing his thing, I think we got a good shot at the W tonight.
Yeah, I've noticed a few defensive breakdowns, but coming from the bench, it said, I think it was the chant was, "Don't worry, we have a good goalie." So is that your defensive strategy?
Yeah, it's all about the brick wall and net back there. He keeps making saves like that. We're not going to have to worry about defense, and we can definitely punch the clock when we're on offense. So strategies work so far. Looks like we're up by 2 now. So the strategy works. So why try to fix what isn't broke?
How's Szymanski doing?
Big heart, loves the game, tries really hard. Kid's got a heart of gold. Shouldn't really be on the hockey rink. Should maybe just stick to Xbox. But good guy to have in the locker room. Good glue guy. So
who's the MVP tonight?
These aren't my words, but they'd probably say nothing. So that's I'm going to be humble here and I'm going to say Chris. But if he asked the rest of the team, they'd probably say me.
Well, we can't let you away from the game for too long. Your team needs you. We really appreciate your time. thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the ice.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm excited to get back out there. This is a great event. Looking forward to doing it again, and thanks for everything you guys do.
All right, thank you, Michael.
Good luck,
Thanks.
Mike.
Yep.
Have a good night. And here we are with 34 minutes left in the game. No, just kidding. We had an awesome night tonight. A lot of fun. I could say, honestly, we pivoted a few times today.
Nate hates the word pivot.
I know, but we had Nate on. Pivoting is the word of the day because today was like a microcosm of 2020. We had to.
It was a rough one.
Yeah, but everybody was here. We're playing. The game's going on. The fundraising is continuing to get to that $1.1 million. We're only a few bucks short. I know that in the next 2 days, which is where we're at, less than 2 days, we're going to get to that $1.1 million.
11daypowerplay.com is our website.
Look at this.
Look at this.
So we are $7,000 away. We got 2 days to do it. We can definitely do it. We need your help. 11daypowerplay.com. Thanks for a great night, great day, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.
Have a good night.
I don't know how you do it every year, but you accomplish. When you see a familiar face, it makes you want to keep playing harder.